Williamson here. With Jay Marvelous on the track, man. You living up to your namesake. This beat is marvelous, man. Wowzers. Coming live from the apocalypse before the cataclysm, cycling through this bondage's coping mechanisms. In what way will I make myself sick today? Crippled from my way, but I'm still ordering Chick-fil-A, trying to read the scriptures more and not forget to pray. Don't take for granted the breath of life that you get today. Even if you suicidal as shit today, it's a way as I get lifted to sit in place. We all running a different race at a different pace. Never had success, but if I get a taste, I'ma just chill. That's being real. Make sure the fam never need for a meal on the straight and narrow for the green. Stephen Mill, nowhere want a meal, no need for a bill, but still, my people Leonardo, Raphael, teenage mutant ninjas out here catching shells. Splinter away from rats, lest ye catch a L. Super shred your head up, people diesel when they fed up. Land of the Wolverines, Logans run away from hell. Sinister magicians got the world in the spell. The same demons who overprice entrails. Lobster like escargot, it snails until there's intel. For stem cells, for incels, only fans will always boom incels. The line between love and hate is a thin veil. Tried to crack the code, but got off track with rails. Had the view for JavaScript, but not what it entails. For more than Twitter pictures and event sales from the so-called woke. Why I'm still broke. Lives would be tragic if it wasn't such a joke. Only one a black man dead, they are selling dope. I'm doing the latter with beats and rhymes. Who wants smoke? Kicking the door, waving the Rick Mahorn on the system. Biggie Smalls, a bad boy, should be playing for the Pistons. Compare me to rappers, the saying that they spitting is like praying to Satan and saying you a Christian. Are you kidding? My flow is like a saying Armageddon. Classic like Genesis, so say it's the beginning. I would keep going, but the beat cut off in 5. No. 3, 2, 1. Vigilante Williamson here with another episode. I'm sorry, the 27th episode of the Vigilante Williamson Show. And this one will be a little bit different. This will be intentionally unstructured, a little bit more personal and personable. I could, and if you guys want me to cover some of the stuff like Jeff Bezos just stepped down from Amazon, not sure what all that's about. Other stuff in the news. But otherwise, I wanted to talk about a bunch of different things, actually. And so I figured I could either just do a different show to be more personable or just do my own show. And if you guys, if you take it in a different direction, that's fine. So Hellcast in the Shadows, you said you've been here the whole time for the last few hours. Now, I did reschedule this. It was supposed to start. Actually, long story. I initially started this. I was going to have this go at 9. I think I'm too loud. I know I've been clipping, and actually I know what I'm going to do. Use the do-rag over the pop filter since I'm not going to be on camera this episode because I honestly think that if I have the mask on, I kind of get into a persona and I'm less me. But anyways, this cast was supposed to start at 9, and then I thought I would be going head-to-head with Nick Weiser. So I moved it back to 6:30, and then right before I started, Grandma Vigilante Williamson, as I said, she gave me a call. So then I'm like, okay, I got to move it back. And then, unfortunately, speaking of grandmas, I'm not going to reveal about what happened, but unfortunately, Nick Weiser is not going to be doing the show. I'll let him do it on his own time. But a lot of you people who may be in the Discord with him may know what's up. But in any event, here I am. So sorry if you've been here a few hours. I'm not sure if that's accurate, then show wasn't going to start then, but yeah, I guess it is living up to your name. And what is up, Slasher McSplitter? I appreciate you being here, man. This episode is one I've wanted to do for a while, just in general. I had said something. I wanted to do an episode where I just talked about me a little bit and just my thoughts on life and everything that's going on and my thoughts on what I want to do with the channel and just kind of be a little bit more, I'm going to say vulnerable, just open, I guess. I don't know. That's why this episode's The Man Behind the Mask. Not to say, like I said, I may cover news. This will be some unstructured stuff. But I guess I wanted to kind of talk about this channel and this character, Vigilante Williamson, right? And like give background to what made me start wanting to do this and where I think Well, I want to go, and if I want to go, because I guess as I let people come in, hell, Gomer Kyle, sky is up and the hooker's legs are up. So are taxes and inflation. But yeah, seriously though, I wanted to do this episode for a while just to kind of not gonna do a face review. I don't think I'll ever do that. I'll only do that if I get doxxed, if and when I get doxxed, and I'll start from there. I'll start from the biggest fear I have doing this channel is not really being doxxed, is actually having some action done against me or my family or something like that because of something I say. And it or being alienated from family or something like that because of something I say. I was just talking, like I said, to my grandma, and you realize how different her view on what's going on in the world is as opposed to yourself just by her feeding the narrative. So like I said, I'm not taking the vaccine because I'm not going to die from COVID having such a low rate. She's like, what? It's killing people. And I'm like, all right, I don't have time to explain that. Or when she thinks about the Capitol thing and it's like, oh, there's a bunch of skinheads who want to get Trump as the president, and they're like, I can't explain all that shit to her. And that's how normies think, right? But at the same time, if once this comes out, let's say I got doxxed and it was a big, let's say this channel, everyone says, oh man, I can't wait to see you at 100,000. Like, I do not want to get 100,000 subscribers. I have no desire whatsoever. I'm not going to say I didn't. At one point when I started, I was like, oh yeah, get 1 million, you know what I mean? And then you just actually start to stare down a barrel of that. I don't want that shit. I don't want that headache. My max, if I could get to 50 and just never grow from there, but keep that 50 happy and loyal, that would be the like best case scenario. I don't want this to grow because this may sound crazy, paranoid, but just because they're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. If Vigilante Williamson were to max out, that means including the music and this persona, that could fuck around and get me killed. Hey, Kate, Roll with Ginger Raven. Most of my family is not crazy, and in fact, my family's not political. Really. Oh, my granddad sort of is, but honestly, ironically enough, even though my granddad hates Trump, he's one of the first people that I knew in real life who said something positive about Trump as far as his trade policy. He was a fan of Trump's trade policy. So, and he likes certain things about Trump. He hates other things about Trump. He's similar to me, honestly. And he didn't say that he voted for him, but I think he did. He said I went with the conservatives, but I guess, whatever. So but he's just not hardcore with it. But my grandma, she just believes whatever the hell news says. And yeah, the older generation still believe the news. Had the same thing with the older kind of friend. And that's what makes the news, this evil fucking media complex, so goddamn dangerous. Yeah. So, hey, they're fucking dangerous because of that. But yeah, just talking about, that's a fear of something happening, of like, if I get doxxed, and there's an issue, like if I get big enough, if I get too big, they're going to come after me really hard. So I'd rather stay medium sized. Hell, Eddie USA from the Twitch. I don't get too many people from Twitch, but it's always cool to see you guys. And of course, this is an odd episode to see because I'm not going to be covering as much news unless you guys want me to cover. It's stuff to cover. I could cover LeBron James yelling at a Becky but acting like a Karen. Despite calling the girl Karen. I could cover Jeff Bezos stepping down the CEO. I could cover Ryan Coogler getting a deal with Disney. There's a lot of news that I thought about, but I'm like, I want to do an episode where it's unstructured, an episode where I just talk about me. Plus, a few weeks ago, after Chris Stuckman did his video on his experience as a Jehovah's Witness, I kind of wanted to have, just tell you guys how it went for me as Jehovah's Witness and where my faith is. And I know religion is a touchy subject for a lot of people, but I still want to talk about it. I want to do a show where I just talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And I'm still in the process talking about this channel of figuring out what the hell this channel is going to be. Can't remember who suggested that. It may have been Tupac Shakur suggested doing a review of The Wire. I'm like, man, maybe I should do a review of The Wire. Paulie does a review series of the X-Men, X-Files. Everybody does like different shows. Why not do a review series? Just go episode by episode, the whole series of The Wire. Or why not do a review series, the whole episode of a Batman animated series? Those are two of my favorite pieces of media. So that's something I might want to do with this channel. I want to keep this channel kind of a, whatever I want to do. I think with like Young Ripper, what he's done, a lot of that, it took him a lot of years, but because he's so established in so many different avenues, he does comic books, he can do video game stream, he obviously does political talk, and by the way, he has a band and does music and has his own, you know what I mean? He has his antennas in a bunch of different fields. And so it's like, well, that just shows me that, okay, I can just kind of do whatever. Oh, Kate doesn't know about The Wire. Oh, man. Gomer Kyle's just saying, hey, Ginger. Yeah, I hate having to use my address for business. So proprietors are like that. That's another thing. I would probably have to file. I would have to file anonymous LLC. I got to do the business stuff for this channel. I'm like, oh man, I really have to think about that sort of thing, huh? And you don't know what The Wire is. Oh, poor Kate. It's the greatest television show ever made. It's not sci-fi at all. It's a crime drama that was on HBO for 5 seasons. Started out in 2000s, 5 seasons in 2000. It was a great show, and if you like, not the Daily Wire, no. Oh man, The Wire. Oh, Gomer Kyle just got 3 teeth pulled. Holy smokes! Hey, may not comment. Just got 3 teeth pulled and in pain. I'm listening. Ginger, it's a great show on HBO. It's on HBO Max now. Now, TJ Rowe, hell, it takes place in Baltimore. It's a great show. Yeah, it's on HBO Max now. Thank goodness. I don't know if it was on any streaming service for the longest, but it is a great show. It ran on HBO back in the 2000s for 5 seasons. There was some gaps in between the seasons, but it takes place in the city of Baltimore. It's about it's a very, very realistic, grounded view of how crime works in a city on every level, from the street level to the police, to the media, to the political class, to the blue collar class who works alongside it. It's a beautiful show. There's no other word I can use but beautiful. But it's raw. And Michael B. Jordan, as we said in my WandaVision episode, which I'm actually uploading just the WandaVision review because the stream kind of went in its own direction, which is another motivation for this stream. Don't insult The Wire by saying it's the Daily Wire. No, has nothing to do with Ben Shapiro and co. It is a great show. I don't know if it was the first thing Michael B. Jordan did, but it was one of the first things. But he was in I think it was just season 1 because he ended up getting, I think he ended up getting killed off. If I remember correctly, but I don't know if I remember correctly because it's been a while. So that's another reason to check out the show, to kind of remember things, just in case I get stuff wrong. So I may do stuff like that. There's a lot of different things I want to do with this channel. I kept saying, I want to stop talking about politics, and I still do because a lot of it just sickens me, man. A lot of this shit sickens me. A lot of the way they have this planet set up, the way they have this world set up is so sick. And reading a lot of these news stories, I have to act like I don't know what's really going on. I have to act like I've never seen a True Stream Media video, or I've never seen Simply Graceful, or I've never seen a lot of different people who have researched what the fuck is really going on. I have to just act completely stupid to cover media, and I'm tired of that. I'm tired of acting like everything just happens to be what it is. There just happened to be a pandemic and a vaccine that doesn't do anything. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. With WandaVision, do you need to watch like some Marvel movies to know what's up? Huh? I would say if you have if you don't need to have watched every movie to like WandaVision, and a lot of it is just, you know what? Honestly, because Wanda and Vision were such a small part of the MCU, it doesn't really matter because you just have to know Wanda has superpowers that can bend. And actually, they're kind of explaining it as it goes. I don't know. I don't think you do. I don't think you do, but I'm not sure if I have like if I'm like nose blind to it and you actually do. But I don't think you do. But my review's uploading now. My episode 3 and 4. Episode 4 is not as good. The first 3 episodes are pretty cool. I will say to give a short review of the whole series so far, it's a really it's part way a love letter to old TV, part way a really creepy, eerie David Lynch-esque experience. And it tries to balance that out, and that's what the show basically is. Michael B. Jordan is a great actor. Yes, it's on HBO Max. He gets killed on way too many movies. Best part of Black Panther. I heard a rumor that he may end up being a Black Panther, and I never thought he should have got killed in Black Panther because he by far and away was the best part of Black Panther. It was the only masculine character because as good as T'Challa was in Civil War, they cucked him in Black Panther. Everyone saw that. Things can be talked about culturally too. It's a cultural control, and I'd rather focus on culture because the politics are irrelevant, man. They are all trying to fuck us. They are all trying to kill us. That's why I got the shirt. Teespring probably put it in the chat. Your government's trying to kill you, but this isn't new. This didn't start in 2020 or 2016. It started before anyone in this damn chat was born. I don't care how old you are. You can be 110. It started before then. Oh, when did that Fed? About 110, 108. The Fed was 1913. I used to know it offhand. I'm a little out of it. And you're welcome. You're welcome. It's more fun to watch reviews. I don't have Disney whatsoever. You know what? I talked about this. I don't technically have Disney Plus, or I don't have any. The only thing I'm paying for is HBO Max. Everything else, other family members are paying for, and we're just all sharing accounts. Oh, I am paying for Amazon, but that has more to do with the delivery than the damn service. Facts. I hope I was talking facts and not talking shit. But yeah, this is going to be a wide open podcast, and so I'm a ramble about myself, and then it'll become a wide open podcast. And I've said this before about growth. To go back to that, I'd much rather you guys like what I do than this show grow and be like I don't need 1 million subscribers. I don't need. If I can get to 1,000, that would be dope. If I can get to 50,000, that would be my max. I wouldn't want more than that. And if it should happen that way, like if I get to like 20,000, I'll be trying to like damn near sabotage myself to not grow and just keep it smaller, like because I just wouldn't want. Like I still want to do music. I found this Full Blast Radio and Sixth Element of Hip Hop. They are a cool crew over there as far as the music, and they fuck with comics too. So I like them over there, and I love the Fandom Menace family. I love everybody. Everybody's cool. Everybody's cool. I like the cool stuff. I want to be cool. I don't want to add too much more stress to my life. In real life, I got to figure out how I'm working in a job that has been driving me crazy since I started. It's one of the worst decisions I made as far as a career, but at the same time, it's the best paying job I ever had. And so you just got to live with the dichotomy, but I have to figure another way of taking care of myself. My goal is to have a physical trade and a digital trade some way, somehow. And so I have to figure that out. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and try to get something entrepreneurial going while doing this channel and working full time. So that's a full plate that I'm trying to give myself. But at the same time, like I said, channel growth is cool because this is a cool way of expressing myself. I want to do more music, different genres, put that stuff out. But I'm a little scared I am scared of success. I get nervous anytime somebody says, "Oh yeah, you're gonna go far." I'm like, I don't want to go too far, man. Because it's not really the point. And I want the ability to say what I want to say, and I don't want that to be hamstrung by growth, if that makes any sense. It may sound paradoxical, but seriously, the more you grow, the less you're allowed to say, or the more shit you'll get for saying it. But we'll see. I'm not going to stop either. Honestly, I've said this in the past, as crazy as it sounds, like every day or week, I think maybe I should just stop doing this. But then part of the reason I don't stop doing this is like, well, I still have to say something. I don't want to have left something unsaid. And I don't want to like if shit does get really bad, you know, I can say I'm a little nervous about them attacking me or disappearing me if I get piss people off too much. But at the same time, if you say nothing or do nothing, that shit can happen anyway. So, see what Gomer Kyle's talking about. HBO Max, I went through it last night. Found TMNT 1990 as he corrects himself. Was sad because it's 31 years old and I was 11. Also sent your video to my stepson. He said it was good stuff. Cool. I'm glad he liked it. 1990. Hey, it is what it is. Time flies, man. Time flies. We all get older if we're lucky. If we're lucky enough to. So I got to talk about religion. Yeah. Religion is a can of worms. I believe, okay, let me just, I guess, to clarify where I'm at with religion, I definitely believe in the Most High, the scriptures. I do not believe in the church. I do not believe in any religion. I do not believe in any denomination. I think at this point they have all become businesses, matriarchal businesses at that. No disrespect, Kate. But they've become, they don't even teach. There's so much shit wrong with the church system in general in this country. So much shit wrong. And then, like I said, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, which my experience was a lot different than Chris Stuckman's experience, which was kind of the catalyst from me wanting to talk about it. Because the reason it was different is because my mom, we were kind of like, it said that, you know, families that only go to church like once in a while type family. That's kind of how we were. Not that there weren't times where we didn't go to the hall. It's called the Kingdom Hall, for those who don't know, a lot. There were stretches, but for the most part, it was like kind of casual and not all the time. It's true they're oligarchies. Yeah, they're definitely at least oligarchies, and they're scam centers. That's not to say there's no church that's good. Maybe you're going to an honest church with an honest pastor who really cares about trying to get people, you know, the actual word, which is cool. But like the issue with all churches, and I include Jehovah's Witnesses in this, is like, listen, the Bible is really hard and complicated to understand. So instead of trying to sell shit and sell yourself and move the collection plate around, and honestly, the Witnesses didn't do that as bad as I've heard other churches. They're really not too big on it, and they keep moving up, but they got their own issues that I get into. But instead of that, focus on trying to, one, understand what the hell is going on in this book and trying to explain that so other people can understand. That seems dumb simple, but that's not what churches or religion, at least in this country, the westernized version of it is. That's why I think that's why we have so many atheists. If you actually look at the science, the idea, and part of me is coming from an agnostic point of view, and agnostic as opposed to agnostic, which no one knows what agnosticism is. Agnosticism is before you can determine whether or not you believe in God, you have to question and answer what the hell God is. What is your belief in God? Like I said, I've already declared I believe in the Most High, the scriptures, but even if you don't, right? If you're agnostic enough to vary your definition of what God is, then God is already confirmed by the fact that we can scientifically describe life. At bare minimum, the system that has created and sustained life is itself God. The science would be God, or the science would be describing God. But however, the system that allows gravity and all the forces, and I remember the Higgs boson, I'm not a science major, but whatever that is, would at bare minimum be God. And then when you think about the anecdotal experiences of something like ayahuasca, where they all see the same spirit who take ayahuasca, you see there's something to imply that there is potentially a spirit world. And the fact that no culture has ever existed to any success without some belief in a higher power. And add to the fact that there's different theories as far as brain and string theory as far as different universes or different forms of different planes of reality, strings or brains of reality, which again implied a potential for a spirit world. So there's a scientific backing for some belief in a higher power. Now, then you can go, there's some scientific plausibility for at least really that kind of plausifies all religions, to be fair. But which is why this is not about pushing my beliefs on anyone, just kind of explaining them and what I think about religion, why I think it actually is still important in the cultural space, even if you are not religious. And even my man Sargon has talked about some of the cultural values that religion teach. So even if one set of positive things that religion is always going to provide, and some, there's going to be a lot of negatives as well. But religion provides a culture, and it provides hope, and it provides something that you can lean on. And you can look up the science as far as, and maybe you consider a placebo effect, but the positive effects of continuous prayer, of the well-being of a person who prays. So even if you think you're just talking to nothing, there's still something there. There's still something to it. Kate says it's all energy. Yeah. The church are hypothetical. I used to go to church. We all judge, and they think they don't criticize as soon as they leave. My friend's a preacher, hella good guy, helped me immensely, but judges others. That's the judgmental thing. That there's a lot not to like about religion. There's a lot to like about religion, not to like. One thing I will say is there's been this long-standing myth about religion that we can now put to bed completely. There's this myth that, religion is the reason for all this division. And then the SJWs have just disproved that. You know what the reason for all the division that humanity has ever faced? Fucking humans. Humans suck. The end. Humans will figure a way to eradicate people, rather it's, this person believes in a different God. This person has a different color skin. This person thinks differently than me. This person wore the wrong shoes. People will find a reason to fuck each other up because we're fucking savages. The end. You can blame whatever that is, but you also have to blame people in general, because at my core, I'm an individual. I believe in the power of the individual, and the individual needs to make decisions, especially in this society where we're all being turned into sheeple. But yeah, sup Tupac Shakur, back from the dead. Hell, Parrothead. Faith does. Religion is the oligarchy. Yeah, that's why I believe in God. I don't believe in religion at all. Your government is their religion. But again, people have used other things in religion. And speaking of which, another thing that people, even if you are atheist, I think you definitely need to come up with some spirituality within yourself. Take the biblical account of the golden calf. Even if you believe, the Bible is a book of fables. Even if you think the Bible is as fictional as Harry Potter, there's tons of lessons in it. Within the context of the Bible and the golden calf, the people of Israel know that the Most High exists. They saw the sea parted. They were delivered from decades and generations of bondage. In a few weeks without Moses, they said, make us a golden calf so we can worship, because human beings need to worship something. So even if you don't believe in God, that's fair and fine. Make sure you plug up whatever the hell that worship hole is, because if you don't, you can find yourself a SJW, because that's what's happened to them. They went to these schools to get radicalized. They paid a bunch of their parents' money to get radicalized, or worked hard to get a bunch of money to get radicalized. We're told that, God is terrible and you're not stupid enough to still believe in God, and then given a new God. I'm sure a lot of you have seen stuff on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, where somebody goes to school and 6 months later their head is shaved and they're like a totally different human, because school radicalizes people. It's just a radicalization camp. Our education system has failed completely. It already failed before any of us was born. Again, It's a fundamental failure. Spirit is I can see it. Spirit isn't the same as religion. Spirit is a sense of self. Yeah, I mean it spiritual. I mean you can't just not have any spiritual you can't just say, oh, just the spirit doesn't exist or nothing exists. You have to plug that hole up some way, somehow. I mean, because if you don't, something else to take in. Something else will become your religion. Be it an ideology, be it you worship, hedonism, and you fall into that trap, whatever it is. You got to find a way of keeping yourself balanced. And for some people, sheesh, we know so many people who've used religion as a way of fucking beating other people over the head, as a way of making people, as a way of feeling superior where they're not, as a way of abusing people, as a way of extorting people. And I mean, these systems, the religion itself, the way we have organized religion is just shitty, completely shitty. So speaking of organized religion, let me give my story. I gave my little spiel about God in general and why I still believe in the Most High after going through this crap as far as being a Jehovah. And it wasn't all the crap. It wasn't all crap. There were times where my life outside of everything was so bad that going to the hall was like the best thing on earth for me. Heathen, but I'm a heathen. Damn heathen. It's damn ginger heathen. The devil. No, I'm just joking. Just joking. Hedonistic. I mean, listen, everybody has pleasure, but if you live your life just for pleasure, that can be that you can fall into addiction to vices. So you have to have some balance for whatever you do. I've been to a lot of churches, being from Tennessee, and Baptist says they're the only ones going to heaven. Church of Christ, well, Baptists are wrong. And then I believe if you're good, it's okay. Man, I'm gonna be honest, and I don't even know, because I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on in the Bible, because nobody taught me, because everybody just was too busy using the Bible for whatever the fuck they wanted. Too busy using the Bible as a bank and using the Bible as a mind control device to actually teach anybody what's going on in it. But yeah, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, and some of that still is with me. I'm not a real holiday guy. They talk to you about how the Christmas is like the sun god day, and it is. Jesus was not born on the 25th of December. There's no way. And there is I forgot which pagan god his birthday. There's a few things for December 25th that have nothing to do with the Christ. But at the same time, like I said, we were kind of halfway crooks. So unlike Chris Stuckman, I did get Christmas presents. I did go to Thanksgiving. I didn't have Halloween. That's the only holiday I never experienced. And Easter, I didn't give a fuck about. I actually feel like I may have went to an auntie's house on Easter when I was young. But I was not an Easter guy. But I did have Christmas. They had birthdays too. Like we weren't supposed to. So what we would do is just like do it the day before or after. But it was the same thing. It was the same thing. So I didn't miss out on a lot of that stuff that other kids did. But I mean, I also got to, and I don't know if this is why I'm so, they're my heathen holidays. I see. Yeah. Why do we practice your heathen holidays? You're going to have to ask the Catholic Church about that. And why are those saints similar to pagan deities? That's interesting. But that's neither here nor there. We got one evil religion at a time, if we can do it. So yeah, raised as Jehovah's Witness, but it wasn't the typical Jehovah's Witness experience. It wasn't as bad as Chris Stuckman, and because I moved around a lot, one line in the Bible is what separates JW from Church of Christ. I don't know as much about the Church of Christ specifically, Gomer. What line is that, by the way? What is the big separation? And like I said, I do not define myself currently as one. Just I wouldn't even use the term Christian because of the mind cult connection to it. I see I'm losing viewers. I got up to 11, but I started talking about God. They say I'm getting the fuck out of here. Don't want to hear about this shit. But yeah. So it wasn't quite the same, but it was still a different experience because I didn't go to a lot of church gatherings. I never really went to like church stuff, and so if a kid invited me to something that was at a church, I couldn't go. That was probably the only real thing that happened. And I honestly, I was never good at making friends anyway, so it didn't really matter. And I was sort of an outcast even in the hall because it's weird. I wasn't religious enough for the people who are really into like being a Jehovah's Witness. I wasn't rebellious enough for the kids who wanted to be like, oh, we're all on the edge. But there was one congregation where me and a crew of misfits, we were all cool. We were the misfits. Two of them, I'm not sure if they knew, but they were gay as hell. But they were so cool. They were so cool. They were cool. We were like the misfit crew because like we didn't fit in with the other witnesses or like regular kids. And I that was cool. That's when I really liked going to the hall and hanging out with them. They were so cool. And we were but we were all coordinated shit. It was cool though. It was a cultural way to peacefully convert people. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, from your perspective, it wasn't. Because you're a pagan. Like, yeah, I got a billion pagans. They just don't know it. If Star Wars is a religion, does that make George Lucas a god? I don't know. Would he be a god or would he be more like a Bible writer because he's transcribing it? Or like Muhammad or something? I'm not sure. Is Star Wars a religion? I kind of think it is, just for the fact that people still care about it after all the dumb shit Disney's done. Even as much shit as I talk and I don't want to care, but then I see the Doomcock video and I'm commenting on it and shit. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I had some positive and I had some negative experiences, man. Because just like any other religion, there's a lot of bullshit. Yeah, the Force would be a religion. And he would be like to me, George Lucas, that would make George Lucas more akin to a Bible writer than God himself. Like he would be like one of the apostles or something. So, yeah, yes. Yeah, because that means like, yeah, paganism is worldwide. They just don't know it. The Church of Christ believes Jesus is the Son of God. He has returned. Cause yeah, we believe look at me. Yeah, witnesses believe that Jesus is the Son of God, but that he has already returned. That's probably the difference. Witnesses believe he's still coming, like he ain't got back yet. But they do believe that he's on the throne of heaven, if I remember correctly. That he's currently on the throne of heaven, but hasn't returned to the earth. So it may not even be a difference. The difference may just be the different 501c3 paperwork. Who knows? The UK list. Oh yeah, the UK does let you list yourself as a Jedi. Can you do whatever you want here, man? They've been it went from the satanic panic and all this other shit where the Christians were fucking with everybody to the Christians are the ones getting fucked with. Yeah, I know what you mean list Jedi as religion. I remember when that happened. I think it was in the 90s and 2000s. It was kind of not a big deal, but it was just a decent sized deal. But I don't know, man. They're coming at Christians. It's weird to see that pendulum swing. The most punk rock thing you could be is a fucking Christian right now. I mean, you know what I mean? Because like when you were, I don't know how old you are. Cause a lot of people in the chat are. Because if you guys didn't grow up in the 90s, you may not have remembered like where like people were still trying to hold on to morality as it was falling in the 90s into the early 2000s. But by like 2002, it was like, okay, morality is falling. But like, yeah, they've gone from everyone was, sick of the quote unquote Christians because a lot of them were actually Catholics. And as we just said, Catholics are pagans. People still hate the pagans the most. Yeah, I would say that's probably correct. Fucking pagans. I'm just joking. No, I'm not. Nah. DC talk. Doomcock talk or DC Comics talk? Or both. Hell, Anthroparion. Back to my story. It's funny. They say don't talk about religion and politics. That's all I've been talking about so far. Back to my story. I grew up as a witness and it was different, but like okay-ish. I remember watching the Chris Stutman video and seeing how like much shit that he went through, and like that's fucked up, and those elders are fucked up, and just my experience with a lot of that whole organization. There's something fucking creepy with that organization, and I have friends that actually not in the same congregation I was in, but I know some friends, and let's just say they had some of the same issues the Catholic Church has when it comes to the young kids. Oh, DC Talk is a Christian music group. I have no knowledge of Christian music. I never let a book, building a person come between myself and God. Love is the feel of my faith. Faith is the direct phone line to God. Kept me sober for 6 years, man. Worked wonders for me. Yeah, I would say that's a good strategy. That's a good strategy. Like I believe I'm trying to learn the Bible. I'm trying to learn the Bible and I believe in it. That's worked for me. That's helped me with my depression, which I'm still working with. It's weird to see old school rockers supporting the Dems when the Dems were trying to cancel Gores to be specific. Well, you know what? I thought about this. A lot of these musicians who are completely just off the rail. I was talking in the chat about how Talib Kweli did Ripper, and I was like, man, my respect for Kweli just went through the ground. Because he's a guy that literally got his albums held down by the establishment for the shit he was saying, and is now just an establishment shill. It was sick to see. It was disgusting. So I don't know these guys. I mean, shit, the Illuminati confirmed. I don't know. A lot of them really are like just not. I don't know about Illuminati, but they're just what is it? They're just sheeple, and so it's like, oh, well, we're in the music industry. We all got to do this, and they just do it. They're just suckers, man. And that goes from the rockers, the rap, all of them. They're just a bunch of dum-dums, suckers. And yeah, Catholics aren't pagans to pagans, though. Yeah, they're halfway crooks when it comes to that, I guess. And yeah, DC Talk is a Christian music group. I did not know that. Now they were a Christian band. They had adverse Australian TV telling us Jesus loves them, loves us. It's a weird name. Yeah, DC Talk. I'm not sure why that was the name. Does he display his pronouns? So I'm glad I never did. I'm not trying to say he did what I'm about to say, but there is a thing with all religions where people try to, especially with Jehovah Witness, because there's the cult-like shit is real. Luckily we were casual enough not to deal with that shit. But and not everybody was as crazy as the congregation he was in. I think part of it though, I was in a congregation in a major city for a lot of my time, and I think he was in a rural area. And even when I lived in a rural area, I mean, I'll get in that a little later, but yeah, that's weird. I don't want to do the thing where you're like, oh, I'm so not whatever religion I was born. I'm gonna be edgy and be the opposite. But I don't know if that's how he feels. Let him do his pronoun thing. Parrothead, now you know him, or you know him. A buddy of mine had one of their CDs, but yeah, Ripper is so much better. Man, and Talib Kweli used to be one of I mean, lyrically, he was one. If you're into lyrical rap, man, and you listen to the late 90s, early 2000s Talib Kweli, great stuff, but he kind of fell off. Ripper's very basic, and he's awesome. Twitter DM, huh? You know what? Here's what so I saw the DM. And for now, I may be alerted, but for now,
no dick. This is my hunt.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I gotta say first. I got a lot of stuff to say, Paulie. I love you though, but so I may drop the link in a minute, but I want to get through a little bit, and then I will get on that. And yes, I did have that just in case, like, because I feel like there's times where I'm gonna want people on. There's times like, nah, I gotta talk my stuff, and so I got that. I'm back. Just finished editing some of my videos on my personal channel, Mando Merc, uploading 4 new videos now. Okay, so make sure you check out Mando Merc. And actually, I think my WandaVision video may be uploading. LOL, doing bro. Yeah, yeah. But I'll give you the link in a second, or I'll give you the link now. And just if you want to wait for a little bit, that's cool. But I feel like if you come in, I'll hop you in. But religion is a can of worms, man. It's a can of worms. I'm just trying to give my experience. Like I said, I saw the Stutman. Kind of felt bad for him having that restriction put on them by that congregation. That's just messed up. And I think that's why people have turned away from religion. And one way is good, so long as people can still find their way to some spirituality. Like I said, I still do believe in the Most High. I ain't pushing that part on you. I respect anyone with any spirituality. I respect my man Cameron Pasha. I respect what Paulie just said. I respect anybody. Even I made fun of Kate. Whatever, man. I'm not gonna follow everything, but listen. Who the hell am I to tell you anything? Life is harsh, so whatever you need, so long as you're not doing any harm to yourself or anybody, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Whatever you can do to get through the next day to give yourself strength. Just kind of giving my experience. Like I said, if I have criticisms about the witness, the organization is very secretive. It wasn't until I was an adult that I started to ask myself questions like, who the hell writes these articles? Why the hell we focus so much on these articles and not the actual book? Why, it's funny though, because like being a witness made me question things, because they're constantly trying to take shots at other parts of Christianity. Yes, it is a part of Christianity, but they're constantly trying to take shots at other parts, and it got me thinking like, oh yeah, why is that? And then eventually you start to question them. But it's like, okay, this is cult. Like they're trying to program you, right? So I definitely could see how his experiences were what they were, but I was blessed enough to not necessarily have as much of the cult-like stuff going on. And I actually have positive things to say. I feel like I question things more because I was raised in a religion that kind of had its underdog pinnings and was trying to take shots at all the other religions. Therefore, I question that, and I end up questioning it. I also kind of like don't have a like worship of traditions either, which it may seem kind of weird, but like I'm not a big holiday person, so like missing, even though it's blessing when I can see family on holidays, and I have, and it's big, but it's like it's not the end of the world. So like I think the last year the holiday season was harder on a lot of other people more than it was me, because I'm like, no big deal. I love my family. I'll see them when I can. So there's that, and just I know not to follow any church. I know not to follow any church. I know not to follow any group of people. I would love to have like a actual like a group of people who were like, all right, let's try to figure out what's going on with the Bible. I got a little Hebrew Greek concordance translation app where it has multiple translations, which is so beneficial. Because you can see how like so many misinterpretations can have. You can see a scripture written 7 different ways and realize, man, you can read this 6 or 7 different ways. So religion is always going to be a can of worms. But at the same time, no culture has ever grown without belief in a higher power to any major success. So I think it's a part of the human condition, whether you want it to be or not. Stuckman did it because he wanted to follow the fad more or less, which I believe the pronoun game is a fad. It definitely is a fad, and it's a dangerous one. And I hate commercial holidays. Okay, you know what? I think I could, if Paulie's willing, I'm going to go ahead and send the link. So, Paulie, you have the link. That's pretty much it. I just want to say, to kind of counter Stuckman a little bit, not necessarily counter. I see how his experience could be. And I remember when I was in the rural area, they were kind of funky. Like, it was weird. They like I said, we were casual, so we wouldn't go all the damn time. And so they do the field service thing, right? Where they go out to knock door to door. That's what they're known for, right? The door to door stuff. So when they would knock on our door, they would never call us. They got our number. And you would think if you really care about whether or not we're going, you would call us. But nope, they knocked on the door like we were anybody else. And I was like, okay, that's how y'all view us. I see how it is. You're just trying to make your little hours so you can make the congregation happy. That's another thing. It don't say in the Bible that you got to do 20 to 40 hours a month of writing letters and calling people and knocking on door to door. It says preach the word, but they didn't give this a specific rule set to these group of men who hide mysterious like they're the fucking Illuminati are supposed to do. Nah, it doesn't say that, motherfucker. So when it comes to any of this religion, like I said, I think human beings need spirituality. I think human beings need something to worship. I think the Bible, even if you don't believe in it, has a ton of lessons and blessings. But at the end of the day, all religion is BS. But here, the real Vigilante Williamson himself. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing, man. I just wanted to do a different episode. Instead of just covering news and doing what I usually do, I was just like, I'm gonna talk a little bit about myself. Talk about I when I first saw the Chris Stepman video, I said I was gonna do a video on being a Jehovah's Witness, and I never really did. So I'll enter that in, and then even though I'm not now, but then just talk about whatever. So how's everything with you, man?
Busy, which is great. Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Cool. But no, I'm always intrigued when a YouTuber can talk about their spirituality, and I'll hit the sober slant about once a month, and we're working with someone right now on the shows, so we're like, I want to bring it back, like maybe every other Sunday, or to talk about these very same issues, and then connecting it to my sobriety, because when I heard, I saw your link, and I was like, oh man, VW is always VW. So then I'm like, wait a minute, he's talking about God. He's talking about religion and spirituality. Yeah. I want in on this.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm not sure if the whole show's going to be on that, but if it is, it is. I just kind of wanted to just talk about that, make sure that I have that on record. Just so
that you were born again.
So no, I was born. I was Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness. Where I was raised as, and then I actually didn't even talk about. I went through. I went through a long period of being an atheist, and then I had several things. I had some spiritual experiences. A lot of them stem from some new age stuff, and I'm like, okay, don't mess with that. That's not something I should mess with. And then it's not for me, man. That stuff is not something I should mess with. And then I like I said earlier, there's I saw some study about how the benefits of prayer, and it got me back praying again, and I got back reading the Bible, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh man, I guess I believe in God again. So that's kind of how that went. So yeah. So what about you? You said
that reminds me of there was an atheist, and he was trying to stay sober, and his sponsor said to him, all right, I want you to pray. It's like, pray? Yeah, I want you to pray every day. I ain't pray every day. I don't believe in God. I don't care. I want you to pray every day. But God's a hypocrite. That shit's all hypocritical. And he said, so are you. So what do you got to lose? Oh, man. We kick and scream at anything that is connected to an authority, structure, rules, and it's just that's our human nature. And I get it. I mean, living my life the way I had lived my life for such a long time, I started living my life so upside down that, I just must, I completely made being spiritual. Oh, I'm spiritual, man. I don't go to church, man. I'm spiritual.
Yeah.
Right? I would say that bullshit. And the reality was that my spirituality was my self-will. So I was God. I became God to me. And everything was about pleasing me. And that is what our society has fallen into.
Absolutely.
It's a complete mistaken identity of what spirituality really is. That spirituality has nothing to do with your self-will. And it really VW wasn't until I stopped drinking, and I got serious about my alcoholism. That verbally praying for me was just the beginning, man. It was an instant load off of me, and then it's been 6 years of just digging and doing the work on me, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I'm proud of you. I know that's a tough thing.
Well, you talked about. I mean, what you say. There's so much there, right? There's
Yeah.
so much there, and we are so afraid to give our power over to, something that's not tangible. It's amazing what we give our power to that is tangible. It's
Yeah,
right.
it is. And how like we'll give our power to things that are tangible, but that are barely tangible, or they're tangible in a way of like meaninglessness.
Yeah.
It's like the celebrity worship is a perfect example. Yeah, these are physical
Mm.
celebrities, right? But like they're treated as if they're gods.
Yeah, and it's like it's amazing. It's like if you even question, to a friend, you're like, you're the one looked bad upon.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to say anything remotely like close to critical of Beyonce to anyone? Holy smokes!
Oh,
It's like,
really?
yeah. If you, I don't know, maybe it's just the brothers and sisters. There's some people that like are obsessed with Beyonce. Like you say, yeah, I don't really like that. What do you mean you don't like that song? How do you not like Beyonce? It's something like, holy
Yeah.
shit, man. It's just I like
Yeah.
Jay-Z's
Well,
wife, man, chill.
well, it's false idols, right? So it's false idols, and and for lack of of my Christian lens, forgive me for anyone in the chat, but that's where I'm coming from. And I was born again in 2013, and I had my last drink in 2015 of August 21st.
Okay.
So now I say that because even though I was baptized and I was having Bible study in my house, I was going to church twice a week, and I was it. I was still drinking. I was still bullshitting. I was still doing that self-will. And so it's funny because I really didn't get to practice my religion until I stopped drinking.
You bring up another point that I think we've all done, like that ability to use religion as a way of not actually paying attention to it. Like, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And you start doing more than you're actually like working on it or building, because a lot of it's just building a relationship with God, or what you believe is God. I know.
Yeah, well, and for the chat and for anyone, we can just say, we say in the program, if you're having a problem with the word God, just think of good, orderly direction.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. We're all about in Rowan is talking about. I just want natural rules. Yeah. Correct. So use that. Right. What we got to do is it can't be even though we think we're very cool, it can't be VW's rules. It can't be Pauly Latino's.
No.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it just blows my mind. A lot of friends who I know that operate from self-will, because self-will is when self-will runs riot, it's all fear-based.
Yeah.
Right. It's all fear-based, VW.
I think we see that in this country.
Oh, dude, I see. I got a good buddy of mine. He's like such a sweet teddy bear of a man, right? Mm-hmm. And he, just positive posts and this and that. Family man. Anyways, he put something up about the Dodger Stadium protesters.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you heard about that.
I did.
Dodger Stadium has been a COVID testing site, right?
Okay.
And there was 50 protesters there.
Okay.
Just saying, hey, we don't believe in this is that, whatever.
Yeah.
LAPD shut down the line and the entrance for 50 minutes.
Oh man.
The way it was reported, you think that the place blew up.
So why do they do that? That reporting, the damn media.
Yeah. So he put, correct. So if you're operating from a place of fear and not from a spirit, like a real spiritual place, you'll take that news and you'll post it, and you say, if I take my parents down there, I'm bringing a lead pipe. That's what my friend put up. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like this high road that people, oh, good vibes and spirituality and take the high road, peace and love. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The high road is paved in blood. It's a lot of hard work. We're talking a lot, like, it's just like you said, life is hard.
It is.
There's no shortcuts, man. So I just see examples of self-will, big and small, every day. VW.
Yeah. And you have a limit to how much will you have. Let me because Roland Ginger Raven Kate is saying a lot in chat. And Fimber's here.
Yeah.
Hail Fimber. What up, my friends?
Hail.
So that way's fun. Fuck that hack. I'm not sure which hack you're talking about.
Probably Beyonce.
Beyonce. Oh God, man. Yeah, it's that thing. That Beyonce thing is weird to me. And other celebrities, there's other celebrities that just have that weird. Like you talk to somebody who likes that celebrity and it's anything remote negative.
No, I know exactly. So it's like J-Lo.
J-Lo, yeah.
It's the same thing. And it's the same thing. Because it's, this false talent. It's all, she actually was a decent, more than anything, she's an actual decent actor. She should just,
Yeah.
But you say anything, it's like I remember complaining about I didn't like that Super Bowl performance. Man, I got so much shit.
Oh man.
I was like, what? Anyways.
He's a human. It's okay.
God. Well, I mean, she had a stripper pole. She was dancing a stripper pole in front of millions, representing the Latino people during the Super Bowl. And then, stripper pole 1 minute, and then she has her little daughter come out singing with her the next. I'm like, all right, cool. This is great.
Well, I mean, this is the WAP now generation, so like that's what we're going to get.
But the reality, the day to day, man. It's not a music video. It's not it's not a tweet. It's not even this what we do.
No.
Even though we're creating a good, and connecting and having a good community, it's a lot of work for me to be here. Just to be here means that I've been responsible with my daily morning. Okay. I got up and did a lot of things to make sure that I'm sane and that my partner is happy.
Yeah.
And, people, it's I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope that's not the general population. I'd like to think it's not.
I hope so too. And Fear the Ice Wolf, who's a young guy, saying this kind of gives me more hope for that. Life is pain and blood. From that pain, one can rise from glory. If one has a life of easiness, then they have never truly lived. Pain teaches us and makes us stronger. It helps us evolve. So this kid's 18 just said that.
Oh,
so
right.
That gives me hope right there.
Hail, Fenner.
Hail, Fenner the Ice Wolf. It is said through adversity does one grow. And I agree with that, man. You need adversity. I feel like a lot of the reason we have what we have is it's not really even a society. We have the tastemakers of the society, the people who are the influencers of the society, who have lived this life of complete luxury to the point where they don't even understand what life is. And they're the ones who are defining it, which is why it's so dangerous and so willy-nilly and so crazy, and why people's pronouns matter, and why everything's as wacky as it's become.
Yeah.
Because they haven't really lived. And this is they're creating more adversity than anything.
I'm trying to make it excuse me. I'm trying to make it my goal to really open the table of the Latino slant to all different opinions.
Yeah.
And really make it a point to like, it's really good not to agree with everybody. That goes back to our religion. Just because I'm a Christian or a Catholic or whatever you are, doesn't mean you agree with everything. It's still an organization. It's still
Yeah.
a company.
Yeah,
There's no company, there's no club, or there is no club or anything that we've created that you're totally 100% going to agree with. It's impossible.
No, it's impossible. It is impossible. And I think part of the issue is we just have to accept that. It's okay to accept that life is not always fair and it's not always great. It's not always terrible either. You know what I mean? You have to work, and you have to, like you said, there's no way you can get a group of people and agree with everyone. In fact, I don't know if I've been on a stream yet of more than like 2 people where we all agree on anything. Like there may be things that we all agree on, or we mostly agree, but usually there's still 1 or 2 people that are like, I don't know, and usually it's me.
Yeah, you're the one usually burning it down.
Yeah.
No, but you're right, and that's what floors me. It's like just because I choose to be more left of center, it doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with every single left of center thing.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I don't. It just depends on the issue. It depends on how it affects my life. But there's no rule saying that, you're left to center a bit. Okay, well, this is what you got to believe in. It's like, no, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's how it should be. But unfortunately, there's not. I don't want to say not enough. There's too many people who don't agree with that. There's too many people who say, oh, this is the rule set. It's on all sides. Holy smokes, it's on all sides. Because the right or whatever can do the same thing. Just doesn't matter. It's like, okay, this is our rule set. We've been told to think this way on this issue. You think that way because you're whatever you define yourself as, and that's a dangerous thing. And then if you criticize somebody who's left of center or right or whatever, their only response is to immediately just bash the other side as if that answers your criticism.
Well, that happened. I mean, I had one of my dear best friends. I mean, she's picked me up out of the, I mean, dude, she's picked me up when I was in the gutter, literally. That's my dog. I mean, I love her. I mean, I still love her. I love her to death.
Yeah.
Love her to death. We had a catch up, because I had moved last summer and she was busy doing this and that. And she lives in another state. So we don't get to see each other as much as we used to. But, like we spent because our birthdays are very close. So we spent last year's birthdays together.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, so anyways, we were catching up, showing her the new house video, la, 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 la. And then at the end, we talked politics.
Uh-oh.
So VW, all I said was, I am not voting for Trump, but I don't know if I can vote for Biden and Harris. Right? And she's like, well, a vote for. Oh, do you need power?
No, I'm done.
Oh, you done? Okay. All right, sweetie.
Thank you.
Mrs. Slant just walked in real quick.
Yeah, Mrs. Slant.
Let's hail Mrs. Slant. What was I saying?
Talking about, I already knew where it was going. Go ahead.
Right. And, and she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, their record, right? Their voting record. And, when it comes to these issues, because the first thing she mentioned, well, they still have kids in cages. Like that is my number one issue, just because I'm a Latino. Like, really? Yeah. Like, okay, all right, and so she kept going off on all these issues, where all I said was, well, you may be right, but in that case, it's really the state. Like, I was just kind of breaking it down, but I just said,
yeah,
I can't, on principle, vote for him because of these certain things, and I'm having a hard time. Like, I'm like talking to my friend, VW.
Yeah, and that should be a fair position. I've heard there were a lot of people on the left who had that position and will vote, just say, I'm voting third party. lot of people on the right felt that. There are people who voted third party for that.
My
that
point
reason.
is, VW, is that I haven't talked to her since.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's messed up.
Yeah.
That when did we become that radicalized about politics? That's new. Because
That's
no
new.
one- that's
That is
new.
well, yeah. That is quarantine. That is unhealthy mental attitudes. That is fear based. Like run wild. That's everything you could think of. We just talked about run wild.
Yeah.
To cancel your best friend just because they're thinking about not voting for a certain party or whatever.
Goodness.
You know, in reality, I'm very liberal in certain ideas, but
Yeah.
and in reality, I mean, I could dig deeper, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro.
That's sad. That is, like I said, that's brand new. I remember, like, there were people, because at one point I lived in like rural Michigan, so there were people who voted for Bush, who hated Bush, and would just say "fuck Bush" even though they voted for him, and that was okay because you didn't have to like the president or care about it. We could all just agree to hate the president and go about our lives or whatever, and all of a sudden it became this like religious thing, where to kind of tie in what we were talking about earlier as far as spirituality, it's like now these are like two religions against each other, and it's like why? Because at the end of the day, all of these politicians are people who, for the most part, don't listen to or care about us, and just make up stuff and are too busy in their own battles to really to focus on us and focus on the people. It's more about whatever the hell issue that there are. It's not even about the issue. It's more about the argument, and they get us caught up into it. That's really messed up. Let me get some of these comments because I don't want to go too far. First, Ironcaster, hell. Appreciate what you were telling me last weekend. Gave me a bit to think about the Star Wars business with the new Star Wars hire. Yeah, that Star Wars thing bothers me. It's just everybody they hire is a mess. So true, Paulie. TLJ sucks. We can all agree. I think everyone can agree on that.
No, they don't.
Yeah. I guess there are people.
And that's what's then. It actually. I think it's actually a good film. It's just it just completely crapped on canon. But I mean, even Lucas said, "Oh, it's a good looking film."
Like good, but it's just not. If it was, I've heard that because I didn't actually see it. Yeah, I didn't want to, and I've heard that if it was called anything else, you might have liked it, but because it actually had Star Wars and it was a Star Wars film, it basically sucked.
Well, just the treatment of Luke Skywalker was just ridiculous, but it was actually a well-made film. It looked fantastic. I remember the trailer. I was so excited because of the trailer. Yeah, I remember. But
I saw Luke throw that lightsaber. I'm like, I'm not watching this.
But there's people that love that. So you're not always going to agree. I can tell you, Los Lobos is the greatest American living band ever. You can be like, what? What I'm saying? Like, it's just taste. But that's kind of different. You get, those are easier to.
Well, for now they are. If things keep getting radicalized, who knows?
Well, yeah, man. You got people blowing up the chat.
Yeah. Says not that new. I experienced it for years. I guess you're talking about the political thing. To me, it's still in a relatively recent. Like I don't remember this 10 years ago. I don't. Not to this extent.
Not to this extreme.
No. When the media and business took a side and made balanced views of radical position, that's crazy that they did that. And it did. Everything became
do it every day now.
Like you can't have a balanced view of anything. Everything is framed and skewed, and it's always been skewed. It's not like it was like 2005 Fox News with some balanced, well-balanced news organization. Good Lord knows it wasn't, but it's just so insane now. Became radicalized when the quarantine started, as the old line says. The line "You want peace and I want freedom" is incredibly deep because one will always aggravate the other. So we can never have both. So choose, would you rather live a calm, heavily monitored life or in constant turmoil, but you can choose how you live your life? Hella deep.
Well, yeah. I mean, the truth is, is that Mother Nature and the world is in constant change and chaos and in flux. It's, there are moments of tranquility and in peace, of course, but even the Buddhist monk has to take a dump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is. And those are most enlightened people. Most enlightened people that wrote the Constitution of that time. They owned other people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the way of the world, man. So it is nature.
Yeah, it's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you think, how's it going to end? When you must choose, for deep down, you can only truly control the end. I don't know how it's going to end. Well, I think like I said, I'm an individual and an individualist, not individualistic, but I feel like at the end of the day, you as an individual are going to have the most control over you. And all you can do is be the best person you can be. And if you can influence anyone, cool. But like, all you can do is do the best. You doing your best is helping other people, because that means you're not harming the system. You're not harming those around you. You're not bringing those around you down. Not to say, everybody's going to go through hard times, but as long as you're trying to lift yourself up and trying to do better for yourself, and whatever that can be, be financially, it could be just not being mean, getting yourself emotionally balanced in whatever way you need to do that. That helps. The whole world gets better if you get better.
Yeah, there's really there's I have no control over anything than what I do.
Yeah.
And even then, I fail every day, on a small level, sometimes on a big level, but even then, I gotta take responsibilities for my actions. I think what Fenner is asking, it's like, those are completely out of my control, and I don't want to waste time here on waste breathing time for me.
Yeah.
On contemplating that too much, because I don't got control over that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what kind of makes me wonder. Now, the Buddhist monk took a dump has the chat.
Yep. It's true.
Makes you think, does a Buddhist monk wear shreddies? Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Wait, monks use toilets or sinks and washers? I'm not sure. How it goes over there. And I feel like I should know, because I think they don't. I think it's like a sink and washer thing. I can't remember though.
Anyway, I was just making the point is that even our most enlightened people that we hold dear as bearers of, the ideals of what it means to be a good human, even they have to take a dump. Even they have their moments.
Yeah. Everybody is indeed human.
Yep. Yeah, man. So I just thought your topic was interesting, what you were discussing.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming on, man. I guess I'm gonna still go because I have no real structure to this. I wanted to talk about the religion and spiritual stuff, and then I just kind of want to open it up because the chat is awesome. As you notice,
very nice.
I was actually slightly inspired. I did a WandaVision review, which I actually just uploaded separate from the stream.
Nice.
Because I clipped it out, because I sort of, if you guys were actually watching that stream, little do you know, I doxed myself at the end of that stream. But that clip has now been cut. So some of you people, if you guys have like one of those eidetic memories where you can see something once and remember it forever, you guys know my real name, so that sucks. Because my email popped up as I was searching something for like a quick second, and I
Oh,
saw
I see what you're saying.
yeah, and so I'm like, oh shit. But I mean, it's not on the video that I just uploaded because that's been I
Gotcha.
only have the first half of that stream uploaded because that's the only part of the review. But yeah, I screw up every stream. But yeah. Anyways, at the end of the stream, I was just riffing with the chat, and that was so fun. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna say my piece, and then afterwards, just kind of see what the chat's talking about, and just go with that. And oh man, Fenrir, who's been
Well, I'll let you get to it, bro.
okay, man. Yeah. I hear something going back, like somebody.
Oh yeah, we're starting to cook.
So,
I get
yeah.
that.
So yeah,
We'll get together and we'll do something very soon.
yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't subbed to Paulie, which I don't know why you haven't, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So let me just toss the link in the chat. If you want to do the advertising, marketing, hey,
yeah.
my stuff.
No, I just want to say, God bless you, man.
I appreciate it. Let me toss your link because everybody should sub to you 2 or 3 times. Please sub to Paulie if you haven't already. And thank you for coming on. And Fenrir, looks like you're leaving. See you later, man.
Thank you, dude. Thank you so much, BW. God bless. Take care. Let's talk some more.
Yeah. Same to you. God bless you, man. Enjoy dinner, and say hey to Miss Slant too.
You got it.
Yeah,
it, man. All right. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right, that was a Paulie Latino Slant. Again, please sub to his channel if you haven't, which I think a lot of you already have because I stole subs from him. Hail to the great chat, and one of the great members of the chat had to leave. Dude, loving the chat, but I gotta fly. See you in the Brave and Bold chat. And Rowan, listen, Rowan Ginger Raven, Fenrir needs feedback on this script. I hope Foulball gets back to you because he actually is in Hollywood. I think his feedback will probably be the best. Still waiting. Wait, Kate, Fenrir still wants feedback from the script. So peace, Fenrir. Love you, man. We live on a ball of rock. Got the coof. We live on a ball of rock hurling through space in a universe that's cold and infinite. The idea of control is a bit of illusion. Exactly. Paulie mentioned his sobriety. I think the Serenity Prayer, even though I've not been someone who's really had an issue with sobriety. Well, a little bit with the smoke, but that's neither here nor there. I have to know. I have to know what I can't. I have to. Know. Accept the things that I can't control. Be brave enough to change the things that I can, and wise enough to know the difference between the two. That's all you can do with life. You can do no more than that, because there are certain things that are beyond your control, and you have to be able to impact the things that you can control if you can, and know the difference between the two. And sometimes there are things you think you can control that you can, and sometimes there are things you think you can control that you just cannot. Yeah, Paulie was great. And yeah, be well, everyone. Please do. But yeah, we are going to continue. Kind of opened it there. I guess that'll cap off the spiritual realm and a little bit about my background and what I think about the whole religion and God stuff. It looks like I lost a lot of people. At one point I had 10 people watching, but talk about God, your record won't get played. Barry Allen's mom, really? Bye, dude. What happened to Barry Allen's mom? I mean, I know she died, but like, what did they do something else with her? I saw that they were making Tim Drake a black street kid because he's black, therefore we all have to live on the street. Well, street kids or drug dealers in vans by the river still have not done Anthroparian. I know. What about the Batwoman review? I'm going to do a review over that first 20 minutes, man. I could get 20 minutes into Batwoman. I could do no more. The Rise Unlimited is more gangster to me. I see why he had aneurysms from season 1. Holy mother of Christ. Oh, that was her quote. No, is that from Barry Allen? No. She got that quote from somewhere else. That's a Serenity Prayer. That quote is not from, she may have used it. But that's a saying. I know it's used in AA and different things, but I think it's even outside of there. That's an old folklore saying that what I just said. It's not just a quote from Barry Allen's mom, even though she may have said it. But no, that's just a saying. That's just a thing that people say, and it's true. Paulie's almost at 600 subscribers. It's crazy. It's crazy seeing the growth of other channels that were ahead of you, and you're like, whoa, they've grown so much. Because I remember when Paulie had a lot less, just not too long ago. So it's really cool to see everybody grow, everybody's growth, and everybody's doing stuff. And even my growth, like I say, I'm a little scared of it. It's gone a little faster now, but like I don't mind a slow growth. Don't mind growing slow. Don't mind just talking to you people in the chat, rambling. Okay. Oh, okay then. Good to know. Peace, my friends. Peace, Finra. I appreciate you being here, man. You're one of the coolest people. I'm glad that your channel's up and going. I'm glad that well, it's not, you don't have much content, but we got to get you content, but you're on a lot of people's channels, and that's cool, man. We got to get you the mic and everything. I know it's Angola. That may be a struggle. We got to get you right, because you're a brilliant kid, man. Oh no, I'm still going to do that video. I ain't pushing no more. I thought it'd be fun to crap on. It's a chore. It is a chore. And I didn't think it would be a chore. I thought it would be fun to crap on too. I thought, I could just watch it and crack jokes, but I mean, holy smart. Life is too short, man. Life is too short to watch Batwoman. So I am gonna do a 20-minute or a review in the first 20 minutes. That's how far I got in and talked about it. I kind of want to figure out how to come at that. How do you express? It's hard to express how bad this show is. It really is. It's impossible to express how bad Batwoman is. It's just flat out impossible. You know what? I realized for my WandaVision review, I did not upload a thumbnail. Ghetto ass. But to upload my thumbnail right now as I do it. That's what happens when you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, now I have a thumbnail. Now people may actually... Is it uploading? There we go. I'm like, why the hell is the picture just me? Oh, yeah. So I'm in YouTube Studio as I stream. Okay. Is it going to update? I don't like seeing my ugly mug, even in the mask. Alrighty. So my WandaVision review is live, finally with its thumbnail. So that's good to see. Okay, so let's see where we're at. I'll be honest, I watched 1, skimmed 2, and then haven't bothered with 4, but you meant 3. How did you do that, Anthroparian? What is your review of Batwoman? Do you like the show, or is it at least watchable from a so bad it's good view for you? To me, there were parts of the first 20 minutes that were so bad it's good. There were parts that even put me in mind accidentally of Batman 66, like this is the terrible woke version of that. But then it was just like, man, the intelligence of the characters is just too low to watch. It's just like, how can these people be so stupid? But it really comes from really incompetent writers who at the end of the day are just trying to make a show to make a show. They're so obsessed with their religion, which is wokeness, that they need to give an offering to their woke gods. And so we have Batwoman. But it does not exist for a television show. And unfortunately, I can't put into words how I do criticize writers, but I don't want to just say, oh, these writers are stupid, it's terrible, and these writers are just all dumb and incompetent, but they're very incompetent. Like the level of incompetence and a lack of skill, or if there's just like one producer or writer who's shaping it, like I can't believe that Hollywood, who has people that untalented. I can't believe people were hired in Hollywood. I know we talk so much crap about how bad Hollywood is and how bad the woke stuff is, and even Terminator Dark Fate and all this other stuff. But there's a level of incompetence outside of the wokeness that even if this wasn't a woke garbage heap, there's like, okay, you guys are not good at writing. You're just not. And you don't understand how humans think or behave. How did you guys get the jobs that you did, even with diversity? Because I don't care. Even if you say, well, they had to hire a bunch of black lesbians there are black lesbians who can write woke stuff that's better than this. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no excuse for this. It could be woke garbage and still be 1,000 times better. The Last Jedi is better than Batwoman. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. The Last Jedi is no doubt in his work, even though I didn't really see it. But I'm just saying, I didn't really see it. I can't really say. I'm lying to you. I can't say. Wonder Woman 84 is better than Batwoman. That's what I'm trying to let you know. And it's clear. It's not even thought. I'm not even going to get so which is what? No, Wonder Woman 84. Not what I thought. Fucking Wonder Woman 84 is Citizen Kane compared to Batwoman. That's how bad it is. It is just terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. And I only got 20 minutes in. I was amazed watching it. It was so bad. It was good early on, but the onslaught is relentless. Yeah. And ultimately, and the show ultimately's biggest detriment is boring. And that doesn't help. It's like boring stupidity. Like seeing a bunch of it is bad enough seeing a bunch of people in hallways talk about feelings, right? We all hate it. But when the people cannot act and the sentences don't make sense and the plot points don't make sense and nothing makes sense and it's just a bunch of shit happening and people are giving out statistics for no reason and no one can tell that this Bruce Wayne is not, it's obviously not Bruce Wayne, but it's just like, holy smokes. Oh my God, it's bad. Haha, agreed. Not sure you can try to write that poorly. It's almost miraculous. Yeah, it is. It is almost miraculous. Absolutely is. Gone an hour and a half. Should I end? I don't know. I like going long. That's what she said. I like going. So I'm gonna go a little bit longer. I'm gonna see how long I can go unstructured. It looks like it's just you and me, Anthro Perion, for now, which is cool. Or is somebody watching on somebody's watching on Twitch. And it's not me because I don't have Twitch up. So thank you, lone Twitch viewer. So I guess no one from D Live though. Yeah, I guess I am giving you the review that you wanted, huh? As long as you're happy, man, this review is going pretty well. You know what, Anthro Perion, I'll clip this out for you. As long as you're happy, man, I'm happy, bro. You're one of the OG subs, and you're still here, and I appreciate it, man. Wing it, dude. Yeah, I love winging it. I haven't done it as much. I've done almost too much structure. It can be kind of fun to wing it. But as long as you're happy, like I said, I care so much more about making the subs I have happy and getting new subs as much as I'll do my little spiel on Comics Division show when I'm on, and I've been blessed to be on the past few weeks. Man, I just want to make sure you guys get something you can enjoy because I know how cool it is to watch. Like I love watching YouTube when it's good. I love watching YouTube. I love Gary, obviously. Love Paulie, Doomcock, Ripper, Critical Drinker, everybody you like as, and then other YouTubers like I talked about, Full Blast Radio, and I've gotten gotten into a lot of the radio, the synthwave radio, the chill wave radio. Like I know how cool it is to kind of have stuff in the background. As much as YouTube has replaced a lot of different mediums, it's replaced broadcast television. To me, it's mainly replaced radio. I wanted to be a sports talk radio host when I was younger. Even went to school for communications. Sounds crazy now because I'm not even as big in sports. But I wanted to be a sports talk radio. Went to school sort of communication. Didn't get a degree. Got a certificate. There's a little fuckery on that. But I listened to the radio a lot because of that. I remember the Howard Stern era. I remember the local radio stations to Detroit. I used to listen to the sports talk radio stations in Detroit. I remember when Mike Valente was him and Terry Foster on the sports talk. And when Valente basically first started in Detroit, now he's, I don't know if you call him big guy because he gets a lot of shit, rightfully so. But like I love watching YouTube. I love doing this. This is so fucking fun. That's why I say I don't know if I want growth because too much growth. I don't ever want this to not be fun. I don't want this to ever be not fun. And yeah, I snip everything. That's what the doctor said. Oh man, I forgot my man who got a vasectomy. Forgot his name. Because blame my head, not my heart. Yeah, easy 5 minutes of content. I need to do more clipping of stuff. I started off clipping a lot and then just stopped out of laziness. Not just quite laziness, it's been busyness too. See. I wish I didn't lose all the viewers. The chat was going crazy earlier. Now it's dying down because I feel like I want to go, but no one else does. So I guess I'll cover some stories. Since I can't wing it. I can't wing it, but I wanted to go without covering anything. But I have a plan. Always have a backup plan. So we'll cover what's going on in the world today. So first, buy a damn cheat shirt if you're able to. It says, so sounds like you got the requisite learning and background. Oh, look, you're basically broadcasting now. Yeah, that's the cool thing. That's the cool thing about this whole Vigilante Williamson project. The things I wanted to be when I was a kid, wanted to be a sports talk radio host. Even though like I haven't did sport radio in like a decade and a half. I did college radio, but it was 2007, 2008, not a decade and a half, 12 years, 13 years. And it didn't work out, whatever, but it was fun. And actually, I kind of thought about that the other day because I've reached a point in Jason C. Hell, Jason C. Do it. I'm sorry, just going off the avatar. But there was a point when I very first started doing college radio where you're really nervous and confused and you screw up all the time. I still screw up all the time. But I've gotten past that nervousness point with YouTube, and that's real fun. So, I mean, I'm still nervous, but not as much so. But yeah, buy a shirt. You ever feel like your government wants you out of the picture, express your paranoia like never before in a stylish design. We have a bunch of stuff. It's the first product I've come up with as Vigilante Williamson. We got hoodies in different colors and V-necks, girl shirts, girl sweaters. And unfortunately, the shirt is also true. So that's the part that sucks. But anyways, fucking Jeff Bezos, himself, Lex Luthor, without Superman. Unless Superman's in some CIA experiment somewhere, some Area 51 experiment. Jeff Bezos to step down as Amazon CEO. Actually, my grandma, I was on the phone with her and she told me this while she was watching the news. I'm like, what? Andy Jassy, the chief of Amazon's cloud computing division, the same division that got rid of Parler but not Twitter because they're evil demons. He's the guy who runs that shit. Or used to run that shit. Now he runs the whole fucking thing. Bezos, the company's founder, will become the executive chairman. Now, as I read this, he's doing the same shit Billy Boy is doing. Gates. Because Gates he hasn't ran Microsoft as the day-to-day in a while. He's just going to take his money and use his powers for evil. That's my guess of what this motherfucker, or either that or he's about to get Me Too. You think so? You think, man, if these guys are petty. Haha, Lex Luthor, Elon stole his number one spot, so he spat chips and has pulled it. I don't know. When Jeff Bezos founded the online bookstore seller in 1994 named Amazon, he said the question he was asked most frequently is, what's the internet? Yeah, a lot of people did not know what the internet was back then. And at the end of the day, I feel like Jeff Bezos is just a guy who got lucky. Not that he didn't work hard, he did. But if somebody else would have came up in 1993 with the same thing, you know what I mean? He made it's the same as the people who made eBay. It's the right time, right place. Same as Elon himself, who had an impact in PayPal. Wait a second, I start covering stuff and lose people? What the fuck? I was that far. People left. Like, oh, we don't want to talk about this motherfucker, Bezos. I know you said that. Now, if I have his cash, I would F off too. Yeah. Gacy's a pain, him and his muzzles, and weighing in all his illiform paint. Yeah, he's a demon. They're the type of people who are fucking up everything. In the right place at the right time. Yeah. You still got to do something with it. You know what I mean? But Bezos, to me, has always just been the guy in the right place at the right time. And he lucked up. And he did what he would. It wasn't all luck. He worked it. And actually, Amazon's growth set a lot of bad precedents. A lot of bad precedents for the stock market. Their success. They were one of the few companies, them and eBay, that didn't burst when the bubble burst. And they were one of the companies that kind of made the bubble what it was because they were get big fast, if you remember. So they were aggressive expansion, investing all that money into their infrastructure, which was a smart move. And they did it, operating at a huge loss. And when the bubble burst, because they had the infrastructure, they ended up to becoming what they were. And I remember when Amazon was good without Amazon Prime. You can get shit basically 2 days later without Amazon Prime. And then Amazon Prime came out and all of a sudden shit started taking longer for no reason. So yeah. Yeah, LOL. Hey, Pop. Yeah, I was talking about God. People were cool. I started talking about the devil. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Elon did the cars to pay for space because of the moon man. I give that some props. And he actually has another company that's, even I think they're closer to profitability now. Tesla had never turned a profit, which is crazy. It's crazy. Elon, it's crazy. That thing always bothers me. That's why I was so happy with the Wall Street Bets thing. It's like, how do these companies operate at a loss? Same with Pandora. How do you operate at a loss? Netflix operate at a loss, but still get more and more money to buy shit. And to get more money to use your power to throw your weight around. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I wish I had the plug on just getting money for nothing, getting money to fail. But I mean, obviously these companies aren't failing, but just the idea that you can get so much money despite operating at a loss is like crazy. Still mind-boggling to me. Though I mean, I get it because once it turns a profit, it does. Okay. Mr. Bezos answered by building Amazon to $1 trillion behemoth. I'm not gonna listen to Puffies. This guy's a demon. He's still the biggest shareholder. He owns 10.6% of the company, according to filings. He's going to stay on the board as director. The role CEO place like Amazon's all-encompassing role leaves time for little things. So I get it. He's taking time off, or just time away from it. I can understand it. I can understand why you wouldn't want to, but I don't like him. I don't like him. Even that's still Amazon and Walmart. I hate buying shit from them, but I don't know what to do. But yeah, they raise capital on the brand. Like Tesla's brand is their stock price. And their stock price is based upon their brand. It's like, huh? After all the BS Amazon's up to, I still can't get people off of it. That sweet 2-day delivery get people cast away their morals and dignity. The same issues with Walmart. And hey, I still use the damn thing because they have already, there are certain things I want to start to get off of Amazon myself. I gotta make a better effort to get off of Amazon myself. I'm paying these fuckers Prime, but then my grandma just called. I gotta send her some vitamins. So what's the easiest way to send her vitamins? Through Amazon. She can get it in a couple days. And that ease of use, they're making us Wally. They're fucking what was that company in Wally? Whatever the hell that company was, that's what they are. And it sucks. Like, this is the oligarchy. This guy is one of the most powerful human beings on earth. And him leaving that CEO spot, Amazon makes him no less powerful. He probably is more powerful because he has more time to do evil shit. So that sucks. But yeah, he's done for now and maybe forever. Like I said, Bill Gates never came back. So since I'm covering stuff, since this is becoming a normal episode, I'll talk about LeBron James being a Karen. Okay. I'll talk about LeBron James getting into an argument with a Becky and becoming a Karen. Okay. I'll talk about, one thing I didn't talk about, I'll take the time to talk about it now, is rest in peace to Screech, Dustin Diamond. I know he had a lot of issues. He actually died of cancer. Didn't even know he had cancer. So rest in peace or power, whatever the kids are saying. Condolences to anyone who's a fan or a person who liked, or fan and family. Prayers to the family of Dustin Diamond. That's very sad that he passed recently. Could be leaving because of bad press. Could be leading the Brad press. Google Jeff's Blue Origin rocket and tell me that thing doesn't look like a penis to you. We'll see. Oh, that's the same comment. Could be bad press, but like what bad press? They own the fucking Washington Post. So I will Google that. Let me get a couple things up. I might as well get a positive story up as well to get it. Real podcast. Let's see. So yeah, this thing is this LeBron James heckler thing. She looked like an Instagram model type. I don't know who she is. Guess she's getting called the courtside Karen. I just thought that was like crazy. Like, why is he getting people kicked out of games? Like, oh my God. Certain brands are just like, man, if you guys want to still keep destroying your brand, go right ahead. No one's going to stop you, man. No one's going to stop you. Because it's like, bro, fans heckling you? I think it all started, at least, and maybe the story that I heard is not true. But the story I heard about the LeBron James thing, and I'm looking at this Blue Origin rocket. Okay, that is absolutely a penis. That's absolutely a penis. There's no... Why did they do this top head thing? They know it looks like a penis. They're trying to make it look like a penis. That's my guess on that. But yeah, LeBron to James. I saw LeBron to Dames. I saw that. Let's talk about this. This is a story I saw, and this is crazy. This is Outkick's coverage because I don't want to hear a bunch of woke craziness. They'll say, "Oh, it's Black History Month, white and black," and somebody called him a socialist. This is the story I said. Somebody called him a socialist. He started going back at the fan, and then the wife, who was Juliana Carlos, started going back at him, and that's what happened. Just got kicked out of the game for talking shit to LeBron James. Juliana Carlos now being called the courtside Karen, says on an Instagram story at the State Farm Arena where the Lakers were playing Atlanta. This is such fucking bullshit. Juliana says, I'll discuss it. Let me tell you, LeBron James looked at my husband during the game and cussed him out. I stood up and I go, don't fucking talk to my husband. Talk to my husband one more time and I'll fuck you up. He said, shut your mouth, you dumb bitch. And I go, shut your mouth, you fucking, shut your fucking mouth, bitch. That's crazy. So yeah, she is 25. She's kind of. I could play the video.
She's had work done. Game for talking shit to LeBron James, for talking shit to my fucking husband. This is such fucking bullshit. Listen, let me tell you, LeBron James looked at my husband during the game and cussed him out, and I stood up and I go, don't fucking talk to my husband. Talk to my husband one more time and I will fuck you up. And he started fighting and he goes, shut your mouth, dumb bitch. And I go, you shut your fucking mouth, bitch.
Okay, like, so you look at, she's had a bit of work done, you can say. That is not like a human face, but apparently it is. But at the same time, LeBron James, what the fuck, bro? They're fans of the game. No, motherfucker, you can barely have fans of the game. This sport has done everything to kill its public relations for a year. They don't even, outside of the public relations shit, I've talked about this for years. The NBA and most sports in general are fucking the most arrogant marketers on earth. I watch YouTube all day. I rarely see a fucking YouTube commercial for the NBA. If not for the fans of the NBA who are content creators, there will be no presence on YouTube for the NBA because they are so bad at marketing and so ineffective at marketing on top of being a bunch of woke dumbasses. And so what you do, and I'll hold more water for LeBron. I'm LeBron agnostic. I'm not a big fan of him. He's always been kind of an asshole, and he's always done things to fuck up his teams, but he is also a great player. I don't think neither him or Jordan is the greatest ever. I think it's Bill Russell. That's a can of worms. My point is this. You are still the face of the league. Fans heckle you. I know you went not even a whole year because they It's getting close to about a year since they shut down, because it was March of last year, if you remember. But fans have heckled you for 20 years, bro. Are you serious? Because there's less fans, you can actually hear them. You can't handle that? For fuck's sake. They're fans. They are fans. And like I said, the report is that her husband called him a communist, which you are. You are a communist, LeBron James. Maybe you don't know that, but you are. Sheesh. And this is just stuff about Carlos. So this is not the first time he's done that. Chris Carlos created a scene with a wife. Was it a different wife? Is that the same girl? Because I can't tell. Whoa, what the fuck? Man, I'm going to go exozone. Yeah, Anthoparian, that face is not real. She does indeed look like a blow-up doll come to life. That's a creepy-looking broad. In the Jordan video, one basketball told a story of a fan yelling at MJ for dunking on Stockton or someone short. Next time, Jordan went down the court and dunked on you, and that was just the time. Well, Jordan went through some crazy shit, man. As much of a Pistons fan as I was, they basically fucking assaulted him. I mean, good Lord, they assaulted him every game. And the fans were crazy. How dare she talk to the queen like that, Queen James? Like, is this the same? If that is the same girl, because looking at her, there's no way to tell. Holy shit, looks like a demon from hell. So he could be an asshole fan. I could talk shit about LeBron James being a bitch all I want. There are asshole fans as well who get entitled, who think, oh man, I paid for this ticket, I can say whatever the fuck I want. You know, it's like, okay, you can, but they can say whatever back. I just don't like them getting kicked out. People should be allowed to talk shit to fans. I've seen people talk way worse to fans and not have them get kicked out. Not like try to get them kicked out. They didn't jump them. I don't think they said anything racist. At least I haven't seen that report, even though I'm sure somebody will put it out because that's the media today. But I guess this guy did this before. Doesn't really say what he did. Brought a guy, yes, Joe Kinsley, who actually is the person who reported this, says, turns out Monday wasn't the first time Chris Carlos created a scene. Of course, with a wife, so I'm not sure if that's the same wife. Blogged about this guy in 2017, calling the aging Alana Clubby. Is Clubby like hubby because he's the older woman? Man, when I'm that old, I wouldn't marry a girl that young when I'm that old. If I'm that old, I'm not getting married. I don't plan on getting married anyway. But I'm not about to. That's not like, why do you want a plastic doll to take half your money in 18 months? What is the point of that? What is the point? This guy is like a liquor distribution company. What is the point in giving a plastic 25-year-old doll half of that liquor distribution money in 18 months? Like, what is the point? What is the goal? Especially a wife. This implies this is not the same wife. But look at, geesh. Like, some people will say this is cute. Nah, I'll pass. Nah, that's because that body count is triple digits, bro. You think you want this. You think that, oh, she's cute. Nah. Nah. If I could get the OG version before the work was done, if you could roll back the work on that and roll back the body count, maybe. But this is all artificial. You can take any girl on earth, put a bunch of money into her and get this out of her. That's not what you want in these streets. That's not what you want. Man, you say, I know what he did. He spent some dough on his girl's package. He probably smart to make her sign a prenup, but you know, a lot of these courts don't even care about prenups nowadays, man. So that's this stuff. I guess you can see the Vigilante Williamson email because that's okay. But I don't even get on Instagram, so I'm not even sure what that was saying. And I already deleted my Instagram. But yeah, that's not good. Yeah, it's probably the equivalent of the Batmobile and Batwoman. Yeah, a ton of plastic. This isn't cute. But as far as the story, man, God damn it, LeBron. I'm not going to totally defend these motherfuckers. I don't know what the husband said. He could have said some fucked up shit. The husband said some crazy. If he just called him a communist or a Marxist, LeBron, you got to toughen the fuck up. If he said a bunch of crazy racist shit, I get it then. I don't know. I'm not going to defend either side on that because I don't know. But as it stands, LeBron looks like a bitch. LeBron looks like a complete bitch because fans are going to say shit that you don't like, especially when you're on the road. That's the whole point of being on the road, that you are getting booed against and you have to deal with the fans not being on your side and rise above it. And if you can't, then you can't. Since you've been in the league fucking 20 years or whatever it's been, you should be able to handle that. Not going to end quite yet. Let me see. I want to get a positive news story in before I end. But I'm sad that the chat has slowed down. Oops, she did it to blow up her Insta post being in the workshop. He got played. What, they were on the road? Yeah, they were in Atlanta. That was in Atlanta. That was a Real Housewife of Atlanta, not a Hollywood whore. So yeah, they did just blow up her Insta. He threw the whole team's fans out, yes, because he's LeBron James. He's the king. He's the king of the league or the queen of the league. So yes, he got the home team's fans thrown out, and a lot of that is on the fans. I mean, not the fans, the building. They should say no. What did he do? What did she do? I mean, but then I've seen times. I can't say that because I've seen times where they should have thrown the fans out and they didn't. I've seen that too, where the fans have crossed the line, and they didn't throw them out, or they just got too drunk and they were just ruining for everybody. And it's like they should throw that motherfucker out. You don't have to kick him out permanently. I don't think you need to ban him, but you got to say, "Hey, motherfucker, you're just going to be a drunk asshole. Got to get the fuck out." But I don't think that's what it was. I think it was just a guy talking shit to LeBron and he couldn't handle it. And she seemed like a drunk, obnoxious Hollywood plaything, but it is crazy. That's crazy. What other story did I want to get into? Other stuff. It started out all philosophical and shit. Now it's just another podcast. I wish there was also more because I wanted to ask people what do they want from this channel? If there's anything he wants. I had requests. I guess I did give Anthroparian his Batwoman review after all. And I saw somebody say something about The Wire in previous episode, and now I want to do a review thing on The Wire. But I definitely, to kind of end before I end, I definitely want this channel's direction to be open-ended and the allowance to say or do whatever the hell I want. I think and I also want to not do a channel that it makes me mentally unhealthy, or even doing this making me mentally unhealthy. Because sometimes I'm like, should I keep going on everybody's stream all the time? Because there's certain times I just don't want to talk about it. Even on my own stream during Brave and the Bold, when we got into politics, I was like, I don't want to talk about this shit. I legit just did not want to talk about this shit because it was just I don't know, it was just angering. Politics angered the shit out of me. Let me see. I'm looking at positive. Yeah, there was a lot of news. Hey, you guys, if there's anything you want me to cover or talk about, let me know in the chat while we're still going. Let me know anything you want me to talk about in the chat. I always like using a positive story, but I can't find one I want to talk about before I go. And then I want to talk. I'm not ready to end the stream, but I don't want to just drag on. Because like I said, this is like the funnest thing I do is do these streams either with people or on my own. Guess the most popular thing. Usually like better stories than this. Yeah, you are the master on your channel. Anger is a healthy reaction to what's going on, VW. On other streams, you may have to make your own excuses, but on your channel, you rule the roost, dude. See, another thing is with that, because like I let it go because I also like, because so many people can have such rules on their channel. I like this place being open. Like you can say whatever you want. I've talked about straight up conspiracy theories even earlier in this very stream. I brought up some researchers that people can call conspiracy theories, but they're not. Like talked about True Stream Media, Simply Graceful, Jay Myers documentaries. If Chronicles of Judah, a lot of it can be super woo woo and kind of black centric, but it's still a lot of helpful information. And there's a lot of other people who are in that space who talk about things from a different perspective. So I'm willing to allow even stuff like that on. So I like giving people their space to talk. And part of it was culture. And I'm like, damn, I could say something, but I've hijacked so many of his fucking streams. Like I've been on his channel hijacking streams all the damn time. So it's like, I can't really say. I like when you do current event stuff. Cool. I'm glad because I do current stuff. I'm doing current stuff. Can't stay. Saw you live. Wanted to show love. I appreciate it, Toxic Man Flu. You do great on comics stream. Thank you, man. I've just started this past month. And I appreciate you do great too with all your name changes. Hopefully the other Toxic Man Flus will show up on my stream one day. Hey Jason C, I appreciate you guys being here. Guess I talked to. Guess I have positive stories, but there was way more news. There's something I wanted to talk. Oh, I could talk about the Tim Drake thing. I don't want to talk about this impeachment shit. Why the hell? I did see something about the FBI agents. My grandma was telling me about that. There was something about I guess I want to say in Rochester, the police fucking maced a 9-year-old. Here, I wanted to say something about the police. You know what? I got something I can rant about. Something I can get some teeth into or sink my teeth into. And actually, the real lesson of the day, the word of this rant is balance and seeing things as they are and not letting a perspective guide what you see and always being open. And this is about police brutality because I think the biggest issue is that it became a partisan issue and a racial issue. And so like when the George Floyd thing happened, there were a lot of people who brought up Tony Timpa, and which was good to do, but they brought it up in a combative way. They say, well, what about him? Why aren't you talking about him? And the better question is, why didn't you talk about him until this happened with George Floyd? Because the state hates all of us. I definitely believe the Tuskegee experiment never ended. In fact, I think a lot of the things that they've done to Black people, they're now doing to everyone. Because there's a huge thing against white men right now, obviously, right? And you guys, it sucks. But, and I mean this with no disrespect, a lot of times when I hear you guys complain, my thoughts are, because this shit's been going on for a while. With a lot of different cultures. And I think right now, because it's so mainstream against white men, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? But bro, man, they've been emasculating Black men since Flip Wilson. They've been every Black man, even to this day, the Tim Drake character, he's got to be he's a street kid and shit. Every Black character stereotypical. And I even joked. That's how I got in that crazy ass Wes Moody stream. I don't know if you guys remember that from a few weeks ago. It was a Whatever Wednesday with me, Fat Steven, and it was insane. I think Kate was there too. It was absolutely insane. But he joked about the trope of Black men dying in horror movies. So like they've been, and I've talked about other cultures. Like I remember seeing like every every Asian man with a family in a commercial in the 2000s would get emasculated every single time. I just noticed it. Rather, it was like him getting bit by the dog or falling. It was just something to emasculate him. So like the media attacking a specific group is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. So none of this is new. So I know, a lot of our Caucasian brothers are really feeling the brunt from the media right now. But again, this has been happening to a lot of groups for a long time. The media hates everybody. They have a different agenda for every single group. And I said all that to say this is because when this police brutality shit was happening, when people were bringing up Tony Tempa's name, they should have been bringing it up to try to do something about the police, because instead they wanted to back the blue, and they saw look what that did you. Did backing the blue help you when I saw fucking protesters, Trump supporters get the shit beat out of them? Did the blue back you then? Did the blue back you when it came time to audit those the votes in Michigan and Pennsylvania? Did the blue back you when it came to enforcing these COVID restrictions to your business? Did the blue back you when, you know what I mean? We can go on and on. So you got to have balance with this shit. That also doesn't mean that they're, fucking Jacob Blake was trying to grab a knife in his car. You know what I mean? These stories were definitely overblown and spun, but don't take a hard stance. So I didn't really look into it, but I heard there was a situation where a 9-year-old girl got maced, and that's unacceptable. It's okay to think she was a Latino girl. That's unacceptable. Let me see. Well, Doomcock, if you caught the Inquisition Sunday, was only reading super chats that were in step with the conversation to preserve flow. He went back later when they had covered the topics. I noticed he does that. Doomcock is the greatest YouTuber ever as far as YouTube strat. Like, he's one of the best streamers I've ever seen in my entire life. Right? And I'm not just saying that because I actually was on the show on New Year's Eve, because he was letting fans on. He's so cool. But yeah, I've noticed he's been doing that. He does that on the Inquisition, where he'll read the topics in line or just for Gary if it's on his channel, and then go back through to everybody, then keep the stream going. And yeah, I do think that works well. That's a great way of handling it. Yeah, I did want to say that piece as I get into news, because I just was looking at the news, thinking about what to cover. Because yeah, I don't really want to end the stream. I like going. I like going long too. That's what she said. Just cool to do. So if you guys have any topics you want me to cover, let me know. I'm trying to see what was there to cover. Now I'm on YouTube looking at other people's channels to ape their stuff. Just look at their there's a few go-tos who always have something cool to talk about. Okay, I could talk about the Michael B. Jordan thing. I could talk about the Michael B. Jordan. You know what? I also want to do a Black History episode. I may do a Black History episode, and I'm going to talk about why I hate Black History Month and why I love it at the same time. Like what it could be, what it should be, and what it isn't. I'll do that. I want to do a little bit more prep for that, because I think, unfortunately, Black History is just them reminding me that my descendants may have been slaves, because yes, not every Black person was a slave. And in fact, not every Black person is Black. Some of them are Native American. So I don't think there's a lot to unpack, but I don't like what Black history's become. I don't like that everything has to do with race, because like, I was never somebody who grew up thinking that American culture was a solely white culture, because I knew that there were Black contributions to society. Go to a stoplight if you don't believe me. Eat peanut butter if you don't believe me. Open your refrigerator if you don't believe me. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that Black people have contributed to to society as a whole, and that's what it should be about. And yes, you should talk about the people who've overcome things and who knocked down barriers. But I was blessed, like when I was in elementary school and middle school, the teachers didn't want us to just talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, so we had to do research on other people. So we would talk about Dr. Ralph Bunche or Madam C.J. Walker, or different people who actually made different kind, Benjamin Banneker, George Washington Carver, and all these individuals who made Actually, I think George Washington Carver may have even been off bounds. They wanted us to dig and find people in Black history. And I don't think he said, oh, yeah, I now take a page off his book. You should toss in a rap every now and again. I do need to rap more on this, right? Or beats. I could probably toss in beats. That'll probably be easier than raps. I do have the beats to open up the show usually. I opened up the show with Dewey Today song. But I do have beats. But anyways, back to the whole Black history thing. But instead now, it's just a way of radicalizing Black people to hate white people. And I don't have time for that. And demoralizing Black people. Because listen, I've never seen 12 Years a Slave. I never will. I've never seen Color Purple. I know, but I never will. I don't want to see something that just makes Black men look bad. Fuck. I saw Amistad. I saw Roots. seen Django Unchained. I may watch that again. But like, I don't want to see. I'm not trying to see this shit, bro. I know the history, man. And I know the history probably better than a lot of motherfuckers making these movies. And I'm not trying to, I never saw Harriet. I don't want to. I'm not trying to, listen, man, I'm not trying to constantly see myself as lesser than. I do not believe I love the brothers in the chat, regardless of the races you are, but I don't think you're privileged just because you're white. I just don't. No disrespect to you. You're not more privileged than me just because you're white. If you grew up with more money, then yeah, you grew up with more money. But I know Black people grew up with more money. I had that dichotomy of moving around a lot. So I went to a school called Southfield High School, and in the early 2000s, it was a well-to-do Black school, mostly Black, but mostly well-to-do Black. And then I moved to a rural area in Michigan, and it was mostly poor white. So I saw that dichotomy. So I never associated like wealth and color. But I recognize that this generation doesn't. Hell, I just saw something where this girl was talking about. Actually, this is kind of going off topic a little bit. I'm a little bit into the whole MGTOW thing. I don't hate women, but it's more of because actually the He-Man women hater MGTOW shit, red pill rage, that should turn me off. I'm not in for that. But the like philosophical thing that people have tied it into religion of Christians who went their own way and shit. Not to get in the dating situation, but I just that material is interesting to me, right? And so there was this dating coach. It was somebody reviewing a dating coach, and this guy named Kevin Samuels. Not sure if you heard him. He's a Black dating coach or whatever. And he was talking to this girl about how she was unrealistic to want a man who has $100,000. And this Black girl was talking like, oh, well, white people have $100,000. All these white people. Don't you know only 9% of the entire U.S. population, regardless of race, has over $100,000 a year, makes over $100,000 a year. But this Black girl has such a skewed view of money and skewed view of race and money. She assumes that every white man walking down the street makes $100,000 a year. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize that because the Black people who are racist against white people, I'm a snitch on them. They actually worship y'all. That's the reality. They actually worship y'all. I need to worship y'all. I love you if you love me, man. I rock with you if you do. And if you don't, then fuck you. You know, that's how I am, regardless of your race. That's how I am. You know what I mean? I'm really a kind of a standoffish person anyway. This is almost against type to have done this show and done this content. But there's a lot of sisters and brothers who have like this very skewed view. And there's a lot of us, you know, Jason C's bringing up the Officer Tatum, ABL, Jericho Green. I've watched all of them. I'm not as big of an Officer Tatum guy. I think I still have a little anti-police in me, man. I'm not good with the state, but I like ABL. I've watched a lot. I'm still sub to him. I watch Jericho Green stuff too. They are pretty good. There's a lot of people who are just like, man, I'm doing my own thing. I'm not looking for no white person to hate. No matter what group you are, there's no love in hating another group. You can't hate somebody else and find love there. That's impossible. And I know why, because a lot of people are just brainwashed by this indoctrination system and these this indoctrination system. There's where do these ideas come from? they don't arrive at those opinions organically. No, they don't. They do not arrive at those opinions organically. There's just we have this indoctrination system that for the past 10 years has taught black kids that they're lesser than white kids and the white kids are better. And they've heard this. There are black kids who've gone through these liberal indoctrination camps and education, particularly the ones who are in mixed areas, believe it or not. And they get basically browbeat by the white parents. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen this show, Everybody Hates Chris, but the teacher just thinks Chris, because he's black, is the poorest kid. And the joke really was, in real life, Chris Rock was one of the richest kids in his neighborhood or in his school. He was a black kid, but he went to a poor white school because of the busing system. So he actually went through a lot of racism as a kid, but he makes fun of it in the show. And the joke is the teacher thinks that he's so fucking poor. And, oh, you know, I know your father's not there. And he's like, my father, I have my father. But she thinks she's doing right by him. And she thinks by showing how much of a struggle black kids are going through or black people are going through that she's conscious of it. But really, she's creating more of a problem when that teacher is real and that teacher's teaching your kids. They F their heads up. Yeah, they fuck their heads right up. This indoctrination system is demonic. Member at all their channels. Oh, member. Cool to support channels, man. That's cool. Yeah, man. This indoctrination system is fucked up. And I think you'd be naive to not at least question if some of it's Machiavellian. I know I talked about that a little bit on Comics' channel. A lot of this is intentional for division. A lot of this is, you know, there are ideologues who do believe all this crazy shit, but I blame the schools, I blame social media, and I blame the media, who's now is racist to go on Wall Street bets. I talked about it earlier. My grandma is convinced that a bunch of skinheads are trying to deny democracy on the 6th. It was a rampage. She's convinced of it because that's what the media told her. She didn't see people that were her age with flags waving, you know, and people just jumping on desks looking like a fool. She just saw violence and craziness and her narrative. And so that's what's going on. And people are getting their brainwashed to believe like there's like this magic. I don't know what people believe in. It's sad. That's why I said I'm not watching this shit. Listen, man, I actually like being black. This may be a newsflash to a lot of these motherfuckers. I actually am glad I am what I am. I like being who I am. All the issues I have, you know what I mean? That's crazy. This kind of race I'm making a video on, but it will probably be long to make. Yeah, it's hard to make a lot of those videos. There's so many videos I haven't done and I've wanted to do, because it's a lot easier to do this. It's a lot easier to talk about in a live stream than to really break down content. But that said, I do want to do more long form videos. One of the first videos I did on this channel, and it's actually one of the things I'm most proud of, was talking about the prosecutors in Minneapolis. To talk about Amy Klobuchar, where she was a prosecutor on the Martin Freeman, and just a lot of the institutional incompetence and how it was stupid they were getting rid of black mascots. And it was probably the best video as far as like editing and work and research that I ever did. It was one of the first videos I ever did, and then I kind of went away from doing stuff because that took almost a month to do, and it took a lot of work. And I mean, I don't know, I'm still pretty proud of how it came out, but videos take a lot longer than live streams. That's why you'll see. I know even what's my man name? EVS. He went for a while without even really doing videos. He was just live stream. And he had to force himself to do videos. It's just a lot easier. And yeah, she sees what the news wanted her to see, and now believes what they wanted her to believe. And that's the scary thing, because there's a lot of people. I mean, the news, the mainstream media and the news was a reliable source of information for her entire life, according to her. 80 years of it being a reliable source of information. Like, that's hard. It's hard to not give it credence. You know what I mean? It is. You got to think about the ask you're asking, especially the older people. But that's why a lot of this is going to be a cultural thing. A lot of this is just going to take time. It's going to take us getting older and becoming a generation say, nope, we're not going to believe the media. I think the media is done in a long sense because the mainstream media has done so much damage to their reputation to so many people. If you have a kid now, you're going to teach them the media is full of shit. And they're going to grow up knowing the media is full of shit. Not that I never thought the media was full of shit, but it's in such a way that you can't believe shit they say. If CNN tells me the sky is blue, I'm going to believe that motherfucker turned orange because they are just that accurate with information. So I think I can't keep this going any longer. I'm going to have to do my positive news stories and get out of here. It's been 2.5 hours. I talked about a lot of philosophy, a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. I wanted to open up a little bit. The man behind the mask, talk about me, talk about things I think about life and about society. You know, one more point, because I just like going on, like rambling. This is fun, and you guys are pretty awesome. I want to make one more point about society in general, why I have this author fleck. Avatar. Society has shown its true colors that it doesn't care about you, and that in fact that it doesn't like you at all, regardless of who you are. Even if you're backing it, even if you are blue-haired, blue check mark, worship at the altar of Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris, and you know the gospel according to CNN. They don't like those people. They're useful idiots. They're useful idiots. A lot of the shit that they're encouraging is still going to negatively impact them. And society, this is not accidental. This is not happenstantial. This has been going on for longer than the past 4 years. It's intensified in the past 4 years. But society has been shaped and molded in the image of others for a long time. Hell, if you know your history, Operation Paperclip, it brought over a lot of scientists for our military, but a lot of people also went into the education system and other avenues. McCarthy was not entirely wrong back in the 50s when he was talking about the communists. And there was a lot of our governments got infiltrated then, and that's where things started to get more and more liberal. And that's when you start to have, feminism become more popular. Well, feminism is older than that, but you get into the 50s and the 60s. Now you have feminism become more popular. Then if you're talking about, I have this conspiracy theory that the Tuskegee experiment never ended, and the end game was to enslave all of humanity, and that theory has only been given credence if you look at the past 50 or 60 years. So like what they did with the black community, they came up with matriarchal socialism. The black family in the 1950s, believe it or not, had a lower divorce rate than the white family. And in fact, certain years, black men had a higher employment rate, believe it or not. And then, this is Jim Crow era. This is, real racial times. My grandma, another story about my grandma, she'll tell the story today and it still hurts her. She had a ex-boyfriend, and after, she still was cool with him after they broke up. He went to college in Georgia and he was lynched. That's the era that I'm talking about, where you still have black people with a higher employment rate and lower divorce rate than white people. That's the era I'm talking about. And that's still capable. So what happened? Was it civil rights? Was it integration? No. Even though I think the way they handle integration could have been done. I think you should do it more naturally than busing people. I don't think that made sense, but that's the way our government does things. They force things to do ham-fisted, but it was the socialism. It was the welfare state. The welfare state that started to get the black man out of the home. And then it was the drug thing. And then don't take for granted Vietnam, because there was a lot of brothers who served in Vietnam and they came back to a country that was still had a lot of racial division, maybe less than the generation before, but still. And then they came back stressed out. They got on heroin. The kids got on crack, which was supplied again by the United States government. Look at the Iran-Contra affair. Then we have collusion between cultural tastemakers and private prisons. And you still impact stuff. So why do I say it's going to impact everyone? Well, you had the crack epidemic in the 80s, right? And now what do we have? We have this meth epidemic and the opiate crisis, right? And this has been going, this isn't new. The opiate crisis is 20 years old, and they didn't say shit about it. They let West Virginia and Ohio and the rural parts of Michigan that I lived in, where there was basically a meth lab and the neighbors, they let these motherfuckers fall to the ground with no care at all. No care about a lot of white brothers and sisters. It was black people, whatever. No care about these areas. Let the Rust Belt just rot, completely rot. And it was the same sort of thing. It was drug culture, but instead of this illegal drug, illicit drug, when it comes to these opioids, let's use the big pharma as the pusher. It's almost like they took all the information from what happened with the drug trade and used it to encapsulate people with quote unquote legal drugs. So it's like now matriarchal socialism, the same thing that's affected and impacted the black community for decades, is now that's coming for everybody. This culture has become way more matriarchal. The man's not allowed to do anything. They're trying to really get as much division between man and woman as they possibly can. And they're forcing socialism down our throats, whether we want it or not. And that's only going to cause problems. So what do we do as individuals? We got to realize we can't save everybody. We got to do what's best for our family. We got to, one thing I'm trying to do is I want to figure a way outside the corporate system, because there is a plan for your kid life. He goes to the indoctrination camp, one indoctrination camp after another, till he goes to work for his corporate overlords. And of course, the corporation and the government are basically the same. And that's the plan for our future. And what we have to do is try to be outside the system as much as we can. If you are able to raise your kids and get them outside the school system, please do so. If you can get them out of indoctrination camps and get them in a trade school, please do so. If they want to go to the indoctrination camp because that's what their career is, make sure they're educated about how it can radicalize them and they know what's going on, and try to get them to not worship these corporations and worship institutions. Because I remember as a kid, it was a lot of people who worship different colleges, and then people at colleges who worship different companies and all want to work for Microsoft and Google. And yeah, that's cool, but they're just companies, and people worship them as if they're cathedrals to kind of tie everything back in together. Don't worship the state, don't worship the companies, don't worship yourself. Worship the Most High if you do, and if not, please don't worship anything else. For goodness sake. Let's get into what you guys are talking about. I've been rambling. Yep. In Australia, we had bushfires going nuts. Everyone was donating to each other, helping, signaling how good brotherly they were. Kufa arrives, and they're all in shots, fighting for toilet paper. Yeah. These civilized people, when the chips are down, they'll eat each other. The haves and have-nots. It's all it's ever been about. Race is just another way to make the have-nots fight amongst each other, so the haves could get more. Could not agree more, Jason. See, that's exactly it. This is a class issue. This is not a race issue. Maybe I should switch jokers for this. When the chips are down, these civilized people will eat each other. Go back. But yeah, when the chips were looking grim, they turned on each other at the flick of a switch. They care. I'll even change that. They act like they care when they need some votes. And at this point, I don't even know why, because they don't even need votes. They'll do whatever with the voting machines. And hey, I'm somebody who says the election is not stolen, because I'm somebody who thinks Orange Man's controlled ops. I know that's a very unpopular position. But I just feel like we're all being played, man. We're all being played against each other, and we have to, when we can, do something like what happened with Wall Street bets. We should, if you're able to do stuff like that, when you find a little populist movement or populist thing that can tell the establishment fuck off, please do so. But otherwise, protect your kids if you have them, protect your families, do what you can with what you have. Not sure which part Jason C is tears at. So yeah, I've gone 2.5 hours. I'm going to do some positive stories, or at least stories on sunnyskies.com. It's one of my favorite little positive blogs. Then in the show, because I can't go on forever, even though I've had a good time, and you guys in the chats have been really good, really cool to me. All right, This 4-year-old went outside to play and came back with a new friend. A mother in Virginia was stunned when her 4-year-old son returned from playing outside with a new friend. It's like, he's so cute. They're both so cute. Stephanie Brown says they were stunned on the front porch to see her son standing next to a baby deer. The baby deer is just so cute. Oh, all right. That's how heroes should sound. Dominic went outside and brought a deer back. She captured in the photo on Facebook. Brown said she was in the kitchen, heard footsteps on the porch. I'm like, okay, he's getting ready to come in. So I turned my head, and there it is, like a little baby deer in him. Like it wasn't strange for him. It was really weird. I couldn't even tell you. I was in shock. I was like, no way. My mind's playing games with me. Brown said her son talked to the young fawn and told him that he had cereal inside. So she let him eat cereal together. I'm not sure if deer should have cereal before making her son take him back to the tree line because his mother will be looking for him. Yeah, I'm sure. And you do not want mama deer coming after him. But that is the cutest fucking thing on earth. I'm sorry. The cutest thing. And I don't know. This looks fake. I want to do this story right here. This geologist found Cookie Monster rock formation. There's no way this natural rock formation, there's no way it's natural. That's fake. So that's why I didn't do that story. But that's a cool story. There's a fucking deer and a kid. How can you not like that? So this story, just again, I like doing cool stories to end these podcasts. Medical students in Russia raise tuition money for a foreign student who lost his parent in a car accident. A medical student in Russia was able to continue his studies after money for his tuition was raised by fellow students in under 24 hours. Wow. Mamdou Abdalai from Guinea is a sophomore at North Ossetia State Medical Academy in Vladikavkaz, Russia. Yeah, this is going to be hard to read. It's a lot of different. We got Guinea, Russia. It's going to be a lot of shit. Letters and shit that I can't see what the hell they are. It's going to be rough. In September, Mamdou's parents were killed in a car accident. That's very sad. Prayers for the family. Not only did he tragically lose his family, but the opportunity to pay for his studies at NOSMA. That's the abbreviation of North Ossetia State. When fellow students learned about his difficult situation, they decided to try to raise money for his tuition. As we learned about everything, we decided to raise funds for Mamda to pay for his training. Laura wrote on Instagram, translated to English from Russian. I posted the news on my Instagram. People responded to it quickly. In half a day, we collected the principal amount of 110,000 rubles. So wow. Last Monday, Laura met with Mamdou and surprised him with the good news. Today, we met with Mamdou and paid for tuition and hostel for a year. Now he will not be expelled and can safely continue his studies, Laura wrote in the update. By joint efforts, we managed to collect 400 rubles, and it says like 2,600. And we collected the main amount, 110,000, in half a day. A special thanks to you. With the collected funds, we paid for tuition and dormitory for a year. The balance of funds, 70,000, was transferred to his personal account as bail for the next year of tuition fees. And Mamdou said that I am now his sister. Aww. So that's a really cool story. And I thought Russia were a bunch of racist people who backed Trump. Yeah, all these Russian kids helped this Guinean brother out. She's cute. So if that's your sister, I hope it's your sister like it is on the hub, because she's a cutie. And then this is the last positive story, and then we're going to get out of here because, yeah, like I said, I could do this for hours, but I don't want to keep Anthony Perion and Jason C. You guys are awesome. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. So, an Austrian man who fled the Nazis with his family. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that word, even though it's a positive story. Who fled them with his family during World War II has left part of his fortune to the French village whose residents help hide them. Now, this is really cool. Eric Schwam, who died at 90 years old in December, wrote the surprise gift in his will for Le Chambron-sur-Lignon, a commune in south central France. Mayor Jean-Marc Michel Iriad. Yeah, I'm sorry about all the names in both of these past articles. A lot of foreign names. It says he left the village a large amount in his will without confirming a figure, but his mayoral predecessor told the local media that the amount is about 2 million euros, and then it has the different currencies as far as pounds and dollars. 1.7 million pounds, $2.4 million. That's what he left in his will. Irad told AFP that Schwab's gift will be used to fund education and youth initiatives. The Cambon sur Leon has a population of only about 2,500 people, but a reputation as a place of refuge, dating back to the French Protestant Huguenots who fled religious persecution during the 17th century. The town was recognized by Israel for its extraordinary efforts in protecting Jewish refugees from the occupying Nazis. So that is really cool that this village did something way great back in the day, could still get a donation. And that's why, yeah, it's awesome. All these stories are pretty awesome, right? That's what we talk about a lot of stuff. You want to just end on a good note. You want to end feeling good. Like, hey, as crazy as this world is, and it is crazy, there are still good people out there. There are actually still good people out there. There are actually people who are doing good things for each other, and there are actually people who care about each other. And there are people who don't have to know each other to care about each other. Do not accept the media's fallacies that we are all at each other's throat. Because if this community has taught me anything, is that is not actually the case. It's unfortunate. We talked about, Paulie lost a friend for just not worshiping Joe Biden. And he's nowhere near a Trump guy. He's a left. He's on the left. But he has questions about Biden because he has eyes. Anyone has eyes, you can have questions about him. It's sad that he lost a friend, but you see, I hope he didn't lose him forever. I hope the friend comes around and realizes, why are we arguing about two motherfuckers who don't care about us? That makes no sense. But you see, people do care about each other, and it's a cool thing. So I thank everybody for joining. I think it's high as 11 people. I think it's only 3 now. Still got somebody from Twitch. So shout out to my Twitch viewer who's gone this whole way. Thank you. I'm not sure. It was the guy who was on Twitch. Is his comment still up here? Oh, got so many comments. A lot of them are gone. But shout out to everyone who joined. We have Kate, Royal Ginger Raven, Go Mikhail, Cast the Shadows. I'm not sure he was also Mando Merc, but obviously Jason C has been here a lot of the time. So Shane with Anthroparion, Fenrir, Ironcaster was here. Like I said, Anthroparion. Obviously, Paulie, Latino Slant, also joined on the show a little bit. Tupac Shakur, out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. And yeah, thank you. I should probably have played the music as I ended. Let's see what do we have. Oh man, Dope Stilo only caught the end, but thanks, Vigilante. Thank you, Dope Stilo. I like that name too. I appreciate you being here, man. Feel free to watch back. I'll probably do some clips of this show, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff I had. So I just thank everybody for watching. Let me end with music, because he's right. I got to play more music. I played Dewey. I'll play the classic. The Vigilante Williamson thing, because it's one of the coolest pieces of music I've made in a minute. So we'll end on that and marketing for the show. Because if you guys want the damn t-shirts, please buy a t-shirt. So let me get everything set up so we can end really cool with let's see. Hold on. I'm coming back. Okay, y'all don't know y'all don't know nothing about no Ariel Pink. I'm gonna stop it. Where's my Teespring stuff? Yeah, see you all later, man. Appreciate it. I wish there was no copyright shit. I would play Ariel Pink to lead, because y'all don't know nothing about no damn Ariel Pink. Don't know nothing about that shit. The indie rock shit. I'll mark Teespring, do some music on the way out, and that'll be it. And I'll try to not dox myself as I do it. That's the only reason you don't see anything up now. Alrighty. And yeah, nice one, good stream. I appreciate that. Cause yeah, I want a shot at remixing your rap song. I've never mixed rap. When you say mixing, you mean like actual mixing or like remixing, rapping, or making a new beat over? Cause I cannot mix to save my life. Even though the beat that I'm about to play is probably one of the better mixes I've done. But I cannot mix to save my life. So here's the Vigilante Williamson thing, basically. And then I'm gonna show my I love this shit. So here's the thing, some music, and then we'll show the shirt and I'll talk shit and then we'll call it a day. I love you all. Thank you for everything you've done. There are times where I think about quitting this shit, and you guys make it a lot easier to keep going. This is the funnest thing I've done pretty much in my entire life. And I thank you all for it. Mixing. Cool. Hey, Anthroparion, if you want to shop mixing my stuff, I will vigilantewilliamson@gmail.com and hit me up. We can work that out. Or if you're on Twitter, which I'm not, or if you're on Minds will be better. Minds will be a lot better. Hopefully the music's not too loud. Hopefully you can even hear the damn music. That would be awkward if you can't. So awkward. This is share screen and audio, so you should be able to hear music. This is the shirt. The government's trying to kill you. We got more shirts coming, more music coming. Cool. Thank you for watching. Thank you. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. If you feel any way about the comments, let me know in the comments below. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time, and God bless.